Number 57 on the waiting
Call is
list.
very important to us. Please stay on the line while we're currently assisting other callers. Thanks again, Mr. McLeod, for your awesome, awesome song.
Yep. Was I talking through that whole thing? What? Was I talking through that whole thing? No. Good.
You know, if you whisper, we can still hear you, right?
Oh, crap, really? Oh, well.
Yeah. Crap.
Thank you, Mr. McLeod. Crap.
Right.
So.
What's everyone up to?
Oh, not much. Trying to go through some technical difficulties.
Yes, if there is any static or interference from either myself or Ian, we sincerely apologize. But you know, we're noobs.
Yeah.
We suck.
Oh, come on, man. Our equipment sucks. Sometimes, you know. But so what's going on with you, man? Oh, me? Oh, not a whole lot. Frank? Oh no. Something's went wrong. It always does. Ah, my soul. I can feel my soul being sucked out of my body. Ah. Oh, it was just the audio. Okay. Yeah. Right? Hello? We can't hear you. What? Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, what have I been up to? Well, I've
You,
been.
hmm? You freaked us out because I wasn't sure if that was my fault because I couldn't hear you or there's a mixture or something.
Well, I clicked an app that uses a different codec by accident because I have it pinned to my taskbar. But I thought I closed it before it activated anything, and I guess not. So, yeah, I've been trying to install Windows 10 into my old Dell.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, and
yeah, well, because I want to have 4 monitors, and my video card right now only supports 3 monitors, and I still want to hang on for Vega, but fucking hell, they're making it hard. So,
why do you need 4 monitors so badly? Like, what are you gonna do on the 4th one?
Because I want it. Shut up.
That's harsh, man.
Well, shut up. But no, I thought about it, and it's a good way to keep the lights on that monitor until I get the GPU that supports it. Plus, if like say when I'm playing guitar, like you just noticed a moment ago, I opened the app for my guitar amp, and it's on a different video codec.
Right.
So it mutes the audio for Hangouts, or if I'm watching a YouTube video, it mutes that. Now, when I'm playing guitar, I like to play along with, like, say, a YouTube video. so I can hear the actual notes as they're played on the record or live or whatever the hell it is, and I can figure it out on the guitar. If it mutes it, I can't do that. Well, if I have a whole different computer, possibly hooked up to a different speaker just for that, one monitor, uh, then I theoretically would be able to play two things at once. So,
Right.
but yeah. Plus, I like to tinker. My wife's like, "You're never satisfied," and I say, "Yeah, man." But so that's what I've been doing. I sat up late last night messing with it. Even the version I had, I think, was still my BIOS says it supports 64-bit, but I think it was still going to use up too much RAM or something, because it wouldn't even the install disk I had. It would show the Windows icon, and then immediately just go straight into launching XP, and I'm like, shit. So,
Oh man.
so I gotta do some more playing.
Hmm.
I'll figure it out. I figured out what was wrong with my video software. That Ben gave me a key for Wondershare because he bought several copies. And Filmora, all my video editing stuff, like I was missing a feature pack for Windows, because natively the version I have doesn't have a media player on it. It's the N version.
Right.
And I had to download the feature pack, which has 3 parts. And even though it said it had all 3, apparently the last one wasn't there. Once I downloaded that, because even the support from Wondershare has actually been really good. I've emailed them and said, I keep getting this error message, and they're like, try this, and it didn't work. But then I just happened to run across that fix, and it fixed it. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So now I can edit video.
Yay.
Yay! So hopefully I'll be able to post some videos.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool if you actually did something productive.
Nah. Why start now?
No, I mean, like, I look forward to seeing some more of your videos pop up on your channel, just besides our show.
Well, that was one of the things that slowed me down with the and chill videos is I've got the fancy video card and the fancy monitor, so I can record full screen, but then I couldn't edit the video. And I want to be able to edit the video. I don't, so now I can. So there's
That's
that.
good.
What's Ian been up to? He said, ignoring Nate.
You're narrating for yourself?
You heard
That
me,
is so
motherfucker.
sweet.
Oh man. No, Nate's the guest. He gets to go first.
I have been messing around building my computer and having operating system issues.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I'm still
Getting all
trying to
funky.
install or get that shit burned onto the USB drive. I'm still messing around with all that shit, and I was like organizing and shit. So we're all kind of messing with OSs right now, right?
Yep.
OMG OS.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to organize, like I was trying to organize all the available updates for XP, and since I haven't, I have 7, 8, and 10 that I was gonna put on my thumb drive in case if I need those too. But I was trying to download all the updates and stuff, and I decided to download that WannaCry ransomware patches for all those because I decided to, that Microsoft released the rare patch for XP 8 and 8 or whatever, and then some other server version. But it's weird. It looks like they skipped over 7 for some reason. It's like they did XP but not 7. I don't know if it's like 7 was immune to it or something, or if they're like, no, we don't want the majority of, since everybody's still using 7. We're like, we're not going to let you have it because we want to try to force those people to come back to 10.
Right. Maybe.
Fantastic.
You think that's it, Nate?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, do you think everything's rigged and fixed. Like the winners of everything is already picked before actual sporting events and stuff.
Not every sport. No.
Tinfoil hat.
Yeah. I'm just trying to discredit your whatever.
I went to a hockey game and like 30 people in the section, like, and the other team apparently scored a goal, but the alarm on the goal didn't go off because it's supposedly moving at such a high enough speed, and the puck is rigged for the alarm to go off.
Mm-hmm.
There was no replay of it, and then I asked like 30 people, and no one in our section saw them score the goal, but it apparently happened. So I'm like, curious. But it'd be really hard to rig. You could bribe somebody to screw up, but that still wouldn't guarantee anything. So
Well,
like,
I know people that seriously believe that like college football is rigged, and I'm like, come on, guys. Who gives a flying fuck about the college? But I mean, I guess a lot of people watch it, so.
Well,
it's not about watching it; it's about gambling.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If a lot of people are watching it, they're watching it because, come on, I got money riding on it.
Yeah. I just think, like, for some teams, it seems like it wouldn't be surprising because, like, look at Cleveland. It's like, why can't, like, teams like Cleveland just, like, get out of their rut, you know?
Yeah. My father-in-law actually has a theory about that. He believes that they always tank just to they play long enough to get people to keep having hope to maybe build up a career of, the one or two guys they bring on during the season and then cut them loose to a real team. I don't know why they would do that, but
Well, like, you don't believe in curses and stuff. Like, some people think, oh, Cleveland's cursed, but I mean.
Oh, are you talking about, like, you could make money potentially? You could bring new guys onto a team, have them practice onto a football team, and then you could sell them to other teams, but that's kind of shady and underhanded.
Right.
But, like, that would have to do with the owner of the team, and they'd catch on real quick.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, plus, like, they were, actual events like football and basketball, I think it'd be harder to rig, but, I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Like, it'd be really hard to rig.
But,
Well,
but I went to that hockey game, and, like, oh, man, I was like, could you rig hockey? And my answer would be there's 10 people, right?
Mm.
And it might be possible. But just hockey, because, 10 people on the ice, and if you could, like, bribe somebody to, like, screw up, like, say, the goalie, that would significantly increase your odds.
what do you think, like, some teams could, like coaches or whatever could look the other way, like, if you were to take, like, with the steroids and stuff,
Oh, that stuff still goes on, yeah.
Well, I mean, I know they're supposed to do all the testing and stuff, but I bet you there's people to pay off that shit.
Well, we're getting way off topic here.
Oh yeah, it's random. It's random.
So Nate Dogg has had computer issues because if you don't remember the last time he was on, he needed to build one, and he built one.
Yeah,
and
did that.
Now it's giving him driver issues. We think, I don't know.
Yeah, because when it goes to install screen, he can't use a
keyboard or mouse.
Did you ever try getting into the BIOS and see if your keyboard works, like with up and down and stuff?
Oh yeah, it works in the BIOS, which is
That's
so
very weird.
Yeah.
Fucking weird, man. My only thought was he's trying to install 7 on a Ryzen setup. I thought Ryzen only supported 10, but don't quote me on that because I remember a bunch of complaints. So,
well, I have a PS2 keyboard and a PS2 mouse that you could use.
I would install 10, but I don't have a 10.
Right.
They supposedly got rid of all the the hidden stuff that was on 10, supposedly.
Well, and if not, like, there's stuff that you could do to totally get rid of that even more.
Right.
So I mean, like, I'm probably gonna give it a try. Like, at least I'm gonna try it, and You could be my guinea pig.
Wait. Did you? I thought you went to 10.
What?
Didn't you go to 10?
Hello, computer.
Yeah, but at one point
Taking part.
Didn't you go to 10 at one point?
No, I didn't go to 10. I stayed at 7.
Oh, you stayed at 7 too?
Yeah.
I've been on 10. It's been okay, but I I have a feeling like certain software won't work.
I
I
don't
just
know.
get this eerie feeling from Microsoft recently.
Oh, you could fix that too. I know what you're talking about. But I was saying though, like if a PS2 mouse and keyboard doesn't work, then it's not the drivers because that shit should like work instantly, right, Frank?
Yeah,
Like I get this eerie feeling that they're gonna be like, "Hey, you know that operating system we gave you?" And you're like, "Yeah, I bought it." And it's like, "Yeah, we're gonna charge you monthly for it."
Oh, you're worried about them going to the subscription route.
Yeah, everyone's been doing that because they're a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah, I do have some articles on that.
Oh, really? I was unaware of this.
Wait, can I say
Okay.
that? Can I say the word "a" and then?
No, fucker,
Like-
you can't say a-hole. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, I see. All right.
Well, if you read my thing, you would have gotten news articles that I said that if I were you, I would take a look at them.
Well, remember I said that running behind thing?
Oh, oh yeah,
No.
that's fine.
So, no, motherfucker. No. So, are we ready to start the news? Or
Oh, what about me? That's
all
yeah.
right, well, see, I went to you, and then you tossed the ball back to Nate, dog.
Yeah, I was trying to be a good host.
Fuck a bunch of
You know what
hosts.
that is a good host, Frank?
No.
I was supposed to
Is it an a-hole? A-hole?
say. We're all a-holes. Come on now.
No, I said a hole, like a hole,
No.
but I said it fast.
See?
See?
No, that's sexist.
Okay.
Like I know you can say that on like FCC. You can say, like you can say you can get away with some stuff, but we're not
No,
FCC,
for the
right?
moment, this is the internet. They don't, go around with the billy club and police it.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
But if a shit pie has his way,
He's
Might
gonna
be
come knocking
different.
on your door. It's gonna be like those Twitch guys that get fucking swatted. You're gonna have your door busted down. It's get on the ground, get on the ground. Okay, so what has Ian been up to?
I've oh well, like I said, I've been still working on the USB stuff. I was mainly organizing stuff like a bunch of files and software, and I was trying to organize stuff for the show.
So porn, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I had to rip all 41 of our episodes into MP3. That was like, that a few hours long for each episode. That took a while to download and then convert or whatever.
Are they available on iTunes?
No, we're still trying to work on that, right, Frank?
Yeah.
What about like Google Play? So I can't like try and sell you guys this show. Like mass
if
market.
you could
that
sell it,
stuff.
that'd be awesome. But I don't think anyone would fucking buy it.
Yeah,
I have it on a public OneDrive folder.
cool.
I gave a link for Frank for, and I was gonna probably go through. That's some more intern work, is just going through and putting all the MP3 links for each show,
Right.
into the description.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just be like, here's the episodes folder that's publicly shared on our channel description, but it would probably be good to give an MP3 link too,
Yeah.
Right.
At least until we could figure out what we're gonna do, because I don't want to have to pay for this show like on that. What was it, like Spotify or SoundCloud or whatever, for the podcast? That shit was expensive.
Right. We are cheap because we are poor.
It's not worth it for us. Like we don't have a lot of viewers yet. So I mean, if we get big time, then obviously it'll be more worth it to
Big
grow and
time.
shit.
Cars getting big up.
Yep.
Peter Gabriel. Sorry. Okay, so you've been working on the show behind the scenes. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Washing windows, dusting things,
Right.
behind the scenes.
Right. Okay, well,
On with the news.
On with the news.
okay. I'm gonna when I opened each story in my email, it opened it in a new tab. So I'm just going to go in the order that it opened them, sir. Okay?
Well, these were all kind of like a general thing. Uh, I'll just, why don't you do this? I'll just copy it in the chat. So I'm on a computer. I should be able to do that at least.
Okay.
You could just close all those out.
Whoop. Okay.
Have you guys ever done Twitch?
No.
I have it, but I have an account, but I haven't done any streaming.
Got it. So no. I
Yeah.
see.
Okay, it should be in the comments now. Let's start at the top one.
Hold on,
But
I gotta close all these fucking tabs now.
while you do that, we should do our news intro, I suppose.
The news with Ian and Nate Dogg and that other guy.
Brought to you by insert your advertisement here. Because
We
money.
will not be sold. That is Nate. Nate can be sold.
Insert your advertisement here.
At Nate.com.
Oh boy. But did you get everything closed?
Yes.
Okay, so just start at the top one with the companies pushing to go to the cloud or pushing to go subscription only.
How the subscription economy is disrupting the traditional business model.
You think? I'll
Recently.
read all this. Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
Ah, fuck. It's opening up Firefox. I meant to copy and paste. Firefox has been like really slow on my computer lately. Yeah, so I've been trying to use Chrome.
Rome.
I did put a dark theme on it.
Rome.
Insert your advertisement here, Chrome. Think about it.
Rome.
We're talking about it.
No.
Insert your shameless advertisement here.
Insert your penis here.
Mm.
Click it on the dicket. Boing.
.com.
Boing. Come on.
Hey, I'm working on an XP machine, man. What do you say?
Derpy. You're working on an XP machine. I thought you had your thing all set up except for some lights.
No,
Oh, shit.
no. I've just been busy organizing stuff. Time goes by so fast, man.
And time goes by so slowly. Okay.
Let me check to see you got that window open.
On a screen sharing, dog.
Cool.
Good thing I'm screen shared, or you'd see me whip my dick out.
Oh.
Ugh.
He's out for Harambe. Ah! You find
It's
it
just
yet?
saying loading.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and read the article.
Yeah, go ahead, Frank. First.
Thank you.
Recently, I heard the CEO of Zora, Tian Zhao, suggested that there is a significant shift happening that will impact business leaders. That shift is away from a pay-per-product model to a subscription-based model. What interested me about this is that recently a coworker told me about a website, Rent the Runway, that rents ball gowns instead of having to purchase them. Why own a Prada, she asked, when you can rent one and wear a different one a month from now? This week I talked with one of the founders of Menguin, an online tuxedo rental shop that makes shopping easy for men and with a near perfect sizing algorithm that removes the risk of an online rental. Whether it's Rent the Runway or Menguin, that's a fucked up word, there is a shift occurring that many younger people preferring a temporary versus permanent ownership. To better understand the nature of implications of the shift, I followed up with Zhao. What is a subscription economy? The subscription economy is a phase coined by Zora describing the new business landscape in which traditional pay per product or service companies are moving towards subscription based business models. Over the past few years, we've seen a seismic shift in growth strategies for business brought about by a growing preference on the part of both businesses and consumers to subscribe to services rather than buy products. And subscription economy companies are allowing their customers the adaptability to either pay as they go or pay per subscription monthly or via a long term contract. The point is to have flexibility. The subscription economy has increased the intimacy between SaaS companies or software vendors and their customers. And
Oh,
this
oh,
subscription, yes.
oh,
Yes, you in the
okay.
back there. Yes.
Okay. So, you mean increasing intimacy, you mean they're screwing them like in the, like
And you're wearing the dunce cap and sitting in the back of the class. Okay. In the subscription economy, every company must better manage a direct, complex, responsive, multi channel relationship with its customers. Customers are absolutely key in their relationships, and rather than putting the focus of the business on the product or the transaction, subscription economy companies live and die by their ability to focus on the customer. Now, the formula for growth is focused on monetizing long term relationships rather than shipping products. The shift of the subscription economy brings with it the need for a completely different approach to building your business. Why should CMOs/marketers care about it? Software designed for the subscription economy is based on a different way of thinking about business. Contrast companies like Netflix against traditional video rental or companies like Zipcar against Toyota and so on. You have to know how many companies you can address, or how many customers you can address, how many customers you can acquire, how many customers you can retain, and how much revenue you can get per customer. You have to know all of this in great detail and in real time. Rather than putting the focus of the business on the product or the transaction, subscription economy companies live and die by their ability to focus on and serve the customer over time. Pricing and packaging have never been more important. According to The Economist, 80% of companies are seeing a change in how their customers want to access and pay for goods and services, and 50% of these same companies are changing their pricing models as a result. Today, companies are less concerned about the number of units shipped than they are about the successful outcomes they deliver and the consistent positive interactions they have with each and every one of their customers.
bullshit. Oh,
So,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Mr. Ian, the founder of this article here, what are your thoughts, sir? I know how Nate feels about this.
Oh, no, I just sneezed, man. It's cool.
You sneezed out
Well,
some bullshit. I saw.
well, it's yeah. So this it was more of like a big discussion of all this stuff that I was trying to talk about. Starting off with all these companies trying to go to subscription only.
Right.
If you bring up the Apple one, they're denying now. Apple denies report it will stop selling iTunes music downloads in as little as 2 years.
Hold on, which one's that? Macworld.
Yeah. May 12th, 2016, Apple denies this rumor in a statement to recodes Peter Rafka, not true, quote unquote. The original rumor is below. Annual iTunes song downloads are projected to hit almost 600 million in sales in 2019, but the figure may not be big enough to keep Apple in its music selling business. Apple wants to phase out the sales of music downloads via the iTunes store in 2 years, according to a new report by Digital Music News. With the continued decline in music downloads, Apple is foreseeing that iTunes sales will eventually sink to zero, so the company is reportedly abandoning that shift to devote more resources to Apple Music and the growing streaming market. Digital Music News, unnamed sources, also revealed that Apple might also choose to ride the sinking ship for the next 3 to 4 years, but that is more likely to terminate downloads entirely by 2018. Yeah. But they pretty much are. Oh, shit, I hate these ads. There's some ads on there.
Yes.
But yeah, they're pretty much they're denying now that they don't plan on doing that. But
I mean, they got to prepare for it because it's just like, oh, we're only going to sell CDs and records, and then digital downloads came out, and you got to be prepared for the change because then you never know when it's actually going to hit.
Well, and then I have the other links in there for the other things. Like I have one of the news articles from when Adobe started going all subscription only. And then I have the link for what I was talking about on the past show about Autodesk. Autodesk decided to go subscription only, but they're like, oh yeah, you can, for a little bit lower of a price for a few years, you can trade in your perpetual licenses. So pretty much you could trade in what you paid thousands of dollars for just so you could keep renting and giving them money.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? I mean, that's
because
you could, for how much they charge too for the subscription, you could already pay what you've already paid for the perpetual license in a couple of years.
Well, like we've said before, though, it's just like how Bill Gates made all his money. I don't want to sell you my software. I want to license it to you. Because even though you're not getting a month-to-month supported subscription for your initial purchase, eventually the support's going to run out. There's going to be bugs and shit that they're not going to fix anymore. They're going to say, oh, we just don't offer support for this. They've got a time limit of what they have to support. But just like, Windows 8, Windows 7, they say, well, we don't have to support it anymore, and we're not going to. So,
right.
And if if you're actually a professional and you put all your 8 hours a day into what it is you're doing, then
you're rich. You can afford that.
well, no, not always.
Well, that's what they are saying, pretty much.
Well, like look at Linus Media Group for one.
Yeah,
technically that's a small business. It's him and a bunch of his employees. It's not a big business by any stretch of the term, but he's still, I'm sure the majority of what he does is based on branding and product placement and give-me's from the company that they say, okay, you did a bunch of videos for us. Here's some products. Because I doubt he's buying all those, Razer laptops because he bought Razer laptops for all his whole staff. But I doubt he actually bought all of those.
Those are all reviews and stuff.
Well, no. Then one of the commercials on YouTube, Razer had Linus speak, and he says, I actually support this product. It's the one that I felt was good enough to give to all my staff. And they showed they had an entire table of them, and they pulled the blanket off, and everyone ran and grabbed one, and now they all have one. And I doubt they're not reviewing 26 of the same laptop, is what I'm getting at. So
yeah. Well, what's surprising about them is he's got like, what is it, like 10 or something video editors or whatever, and he's like, they only do like a handful of YouTube videos a week. I mean, what other kind of content are they doing all the time?
Well, they do YouTube videos, and they also do other channel, like other uh, video aggregation sites. So they have to work within the confines of those sites. So once they edit it up to YouTube standards, they probably have to clean it up and change it for VidMe, whatever the fuck the other sites are. I don't know. And plus, they
Right.
also they have to take their raw footage and they have to store it within that giant petabyte that they had. Because before it was just literally in cold storage. It was a hard drive sitting in a room. And if they, do a review on the new gadget that came out and, oh, we reviewed the first one, now they got to be able to pull up B-roll of the, last review. And, they've got to catalog all of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the little rinky-dink show that you and I do, just keeping the PC parts of that all together,
Yeah.
inventorying that is I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know how many videos do they do a week, would you say?
Probably like 5 or 6. I mean, it's not often that they do multiple videos a day, but I guess sometimes they do.
Yeah, I don't know. Plus, I mean, it's not one video from start to finish. They go to the venues and stuff. They didn't go to Computex. I don't believe they sent, or did they send people down there?
So back to the
Yeah, I
article.
think so.
But no, we're talking about businesses and the business model, Nate. It's just, these articles are kind of varied in that it's the same idea that they're going from product based to subscription based, which makes sense because you can't sustain a business model like that where you're
Oh, it's
constantly
definitely it's the best thing for the business. Yeah, on that end, it is.
Oh, it
Yeah.
is absolutely best for it is terrible for the customer. Like they have
well,
a subscription
depends.
clothing service now, and you'd be like, cool. But here's the thing: it's like, cool. It's so good for the business because you're like, cool. You can't pay for it. Oh, awesome. We'll just steal everything. So it's like, cool. I rent my clothes. I rent my apartment. I rent my computer. I rent my thing. They're freaking rent-a-center. Have you guys ever been to a rent-a-center?
I've never. I don't even know anybody that does rent-a-center. That's that would suck having to do this.
But imagine like you're like, I want to buy here. Let's see here. This TV, and then they're like, oh man, we switched to subscription service long ago. You can rent this TV, but you can't own the TV.
Well,
yeah.
The thing is, to keep like a brick and mortar store, to keep a product on the shelves means to continually buy at cost a product and mark it up to make value. Whereas if they, rent it to multiple people, they're constantly making money and turning a profit over and over.
Well, you mean they buy wholesale at wholesale value and then they mark it up to retail?
Well, I mean, they're buying it at their cost, what they buy, and they're, they either sell it or in this case, they rent it. If they only have to buy one, think about this: the initial investment is the cost of one, but if you have to keep buying them over and over again, your profit margin, you have to inflate your prices a lot to make your profit actually worth getting, and then you can't compete because online now with Amazon, you can have it come to your house in 2 days. I mean,
Yeah.
So I can understand why a lot of companies would do this because in this market you really can't compete. I mean, think about all the tech stores that have gone out. There was Circuit City. Where's it at now? Best Buy's been kept afloat somehow, but I mean
it's pretty much like a vampire model though, because it's more of like a leech system because they could just keep getting money off of you and they have to do minimum effort because like a lot of people with the Autodesk subscriptions, people are complaining about is they have to. There's like no what's the word when you feel like you got to do something, put effort into it. Motivation. There's no motivation for them to make the product that much better, and most of the time it isn't. There's like you go from version to version with a lot of Autodesk products. I've seen it's each version isn't like the updates aren't what they used to be. When you used to get a full blown update, you were happy, you couldn't wait for it to come out, you know. And they don't have to worry about that. So like it's getting easier and easier and cheaper for them, but there's not like when you're doing that, like on the software side of things, it's not as beneficial for the customer, I don't think.
Oh
like,
yeah,
Netflix and stuff like it's pretty cool that you get like the movies and stuff, all those movies and content, but
it's different between movies and say 3D modeling software, or like renting clothes. Like, oh cool, I got this sweater. Awesome. Oh, is that a semen stain? Gross.
or like OSs. If Microsoft goes, like we were talking about before, if they go to all subscription just operating system,
you can't have a
like
computer.
That would hurt a lot of people because a lot of people still use the old. Like they stay with their software for a while, you know. They try to hold on to it as long as they can.
There are still people with XP, and then if it becomes that bad, I think the
Linux.
Well, not just Linux, but like the crowd, like when a game is no longer supported, the crowd comes together and actually supports, servers and shit to keep, like the original Warcraft server like went down, and how the community kept it alive for so long until they got a cease and desist is an example of something like that. It's, if it's something you really want, especially with technology, they'll find a way. I mean, I don't know. I
don't want to have to like rent my operating system. Like if that ever happened, I just like cool. I just won't have a computer anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that only use computers for certain things, and they don't need to have the latest and greatest for, like for typing text and stuff. I mean, obviously it depends on the person.
You can use an Apple too if all you're doing is word processing.
Right.
Yeah. There's been actual stories of people who still do that. In fact, actually, a lot of word processing software now has been made to keep you from being distracted, because you'll open up Word, but then you'll have a video go on, and you'll have a game open on this other window.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of subscription, my girlfriend, their kids at school, like they had to type something up, so now Microsoft Word and stuff is subscription.
Yeah, Office 360.
Yeah. I didn't know that was subscription now.
Well, that's if you actually want. It's been like that for a while, but
oh yeah, Microsoft. Yeah.
If you actually want Microsoft, you can make documents with other apps. There's LibreOffice,
Google Docs, and yeah,
Google Docs, all that. But I just threw out LibreOffice because it's the previous it's
right.
the predecessor to OpenOffice, because it got changed up. But
you can use the Gmail stuff for like the Google
right.
Docs, like word processor and Excel, and Microsoft has like the cloud versions and stuff.
But
you can use
about like actual subscription software limiting people's ability to use their own machines. Do you think all the kids on eBombs and all those websites bought all those copies of Photoshop? I mean,
probably
seriously.
not.
No. So I mean, I don't think it's. Yes, the people who want to just buy a computer and use it might have issues and might not like it, but they're just going to have to go to their friend that knows a guy, or just Craigslist now. Craigslist is overrun with people who know how to jailbreak phones and install software, just because the average person doesn't know how to do it, and the tech savvy people are making a quick buck, and it's changing the business model for them as well.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that this could actually, if a lot of software companies were smart, they could, because when all these big time companies are moving to like just that's another thing, and they're all trying to move to the cloud and stuff, like with the subscription, which has, like, I don't want to be using my software through my browser, like a professional 3D thing through my Chrome or Firefox. Like,
I'd be like, sweet, here, I'm a new product, and I come to replace all of your mad customers with my product, and now I sell to them, so I'm going to steal your customers. Thank you, Autodesk. Thank you, Photoshop. Thank you,
well, yeah,
Microsoft
what I was
Word.
saying is, like, a lot of this could open up a big void since everybody is trying to abandon the perpetual license. You have a new software company that was really smart. They could take that place, and for all those people and there's probably is going to be a lot of people that are mad and still want the perpetual license. They could snatch all those people up too. Like,
you're saying offer a competing product that would offer local usability instead of forcing everything to the cloud. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that could open up a whole new gap, and they could really snatch that up. Then
Well, I don't. Yeah, but the thing is, if you're talking about stealing Adobe's customers, if it's enough to push a big company like Adobe to get away from the individual support and maintenance versus being able to remotely service their customers, I don't think a small time company will be able to come in and fill that niche, because in my company where I work, we have it's all cloud and server based, but it's local server. There's employees that handle it, and the thing is, instead of it going down and them having to go to your computer to fix it, like however many years ago that was, now they log in and they're at their desk and they fix multiple people's problems in one location. I don't know the scope of the customer, the amount
Oh,
of
I'm not
customers.
saying they'd steal all of them. I'm saying they would steal a select number.
I
And
don't know if it would compensate the initial cost, is what I'm getting at, Nate. I don't think to be able to offer it, you'd have to work night and day, and I mean,
well, okay. You use LibreOffice, right?
yes,
Did you pay for LibreOffice?
no, but is that a company or is that a bunch of people that are getting donations?
Well, you kind of paid for it. You went to their site to download it, right?
Yes,
And do they have ads on their site?
I guess.
Then you paid for it, technically speaking. You didn't pay for it, but the ads paid for it. So technically speaking, people have done that, and I'm assuming LibreOffice is still available, right?
Come on, Nate. You and I both know about Ubuntu, even though it's the greatest Linux operating system to date. It's not replacing Windows anytime soon, and there's all kinds of support for that.
Oh, very true, very true. However, if they went to subscription base, I would absolutely go to Linux. No question.
Yeah, he would. I believe him on that.
Yeah, but
the thing is
all due respect, you're a nerd, Nate. Nana
Well-
and whoever,
well, I mean, like, a lot of these. The thing is the little guy is gonna suffer. A lot of these software models, it's really good for big businesses and stuff, but for like freelancers like me or like Ben and stuff, it's and like hobbyists and tinkerers, it's not going to be as good, because like Autodesk, like their 3D software, the subscription is going to be like $200 plus a month, and it's like people can't afford that. I mean, that's crazy. Then you got to pay for Adobe and
rent.
stuff. Yeah, just to rent a month.
No, I'm saying that's almost like renting a house, because an apartment's like $400.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you,
I mean, it's expensive. It's not really good for the little guy, really.
if you're an artist, it could really get you, because like Ben, he although he's somewhat tech savvy, he's very hands off with it. He wants to buy a Mac and not have to think about it for another 6 years.
Yeah.
Versus you know, some like you built your own rig. I built my own rig, but I'm a tinkerer. I'm a hobbyist, and if you're an actual professional, you either have to be completely consumed by it and be able to maintain it yourself, or pay somebody who will. And you know,
Yeah.
it's
It-
creating a, like I said, it's creating a market within Craigslist and you know, backdoor IT.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, can we get into what I was the next?
Yeah.
This is sort of somewhere, and then as I was trying to go back to
Yeah,
ad
sorry.
pops up, it's okay. This one is next about how if you even own the software that you got, and like whatever data that you have. This article says this one is about the special report. Do you own your digital items?
Mhm.
And I was going to explain here this on the chat here. The first few articles were general ones, and then the other articles were like specific, like questions and stuff about this stuff and examples. But this first article says, when is your shoe not your shoe? If you answered when it's virtual, well, that depends. If you made a virtual shoe yourself, it's definitely your shoe. But if you bought it, it's probably not your shoe. It's probably only a license for a shoe. Although in the European Union, you might be able to sell it on. On the other hand, or for if you bought it in the U.S. state of Delaware, your heirs can inherit your shoe, although you probably can't sell it. In 2013, total revenue from the digital gaming passed console games for the first time, hitting $9 billion in the U.S. Compared with just $6.1 billion on console games and just $220 million on boxed PC games and $200 billion on shoes. Yet it's unclear how many of those purchases are actually buying you anything that you own. What is that? Jas Pierwall
that's what I'd say.
of Gamer Law explains the vast majority of online services give a personal license to users, which is non-transferable to their death. On Steam, iTunes, and Kindle all say users get a license, not property rights. So there's nothing to bequeath. The real issue is online property rights are not yet regulated. So far, technology companies dictate while legislators and users are oblivious.
I remember reading this article because this is from 2015.
Yeah.
Digital Rights Media, GOG.com. Insert advertisement here.
Ignoring the licenses for a moment, most countries have no rules at all, as Pierre explains. There has been some legislation in Asia, particularly China and Vietnam, about virtual currency and virtual property. The U.S. has passed some regulations about virtual currency, but it's really directed at non-game virtual currencies like Bitcoin. In the UK, the concept of digital content is being recognized legally slowly, but there's no specific rules on ownership of games, virtual goods. Closest we got is a case some years ago in which a U.S. citizen was convicted of criminal offenses regarding misappropriation of Zynga poker chips. That was the first time, to my knowledge, that a UK judge was confronted with the issue of virtual goods in a game. Okay. Yeah, it says this is nothing new. After all, we've licensed software like Photoshop for years without assuming we own it. The difference is the huge amounts of real world money that people are prepared to pay for individual digital items, as that $9 billion reflects. So whether it's paying $11,000 for Revenant Titan and EVE Online, or $38,000 for a Dota 2 courier, people are, courier, are increasingly gambling vast amounts of money on digital items with a view to resale. Similarly, many of us have built up huge libraries of games, apps, and media on services like Amazon and iTunes. We may share these with our families using the built-in sharing elements of these services, yet part of the contract we might agree to when we start using iTunes or Kindle is that the digital items we're acquiring are non-transferable. There's some confusion over whether that means the actual accounts themselves are transferable. Of course, usability testing has shown that almost no one ever reads any of those contracts, or there's a separate question about how enforceable they are. Other types of accounts have intangible but very definite value. What is a Twitter account with 10,000 real followers worth, for instance? It asks.
About $50.
Probably. For MMOs, account transfers in most games are illegal. The curious example of that is Entropia Universe. C-Box allows all forms of transfers, as does Second Life, but almost no other MMO does, and most firms shut accounts and ban account holders who've attempted to transfer characters. Despite that, game developers have been known to exercise their discretion. Blizzard has been known to transfer characters to heirs' accounts, though they insist on a lengthy identity verification process. So yeah.
If I were a lawyer, I could argue that it is property because I know for a fact, let's say digital trading cards on Steam, if you hit $10,000 from selling them, you pay taxes on it. And if you pay taxes on it, then it has to exist.
Right. Some of the other links I have on here was what happens to your account if Amazon goes out of business. Amazon can. This is a potential problem with this thing too. Is Amazon could take away your digital books and movies whenever it wants, pretty much. And they've pretty much told that to a customer. Who owns your downloaded music after you die? That's a big question too. And Bruce Willis, there's an article even about. Although I think they said he's not going to do it now, but Bruce Willis wanted to fight Apple over right to leave iTunes library and will. And then there's a list of what you should do about what happens to your online accounts when you die. So like I said, I'm going to put all these links on there, but yeah, those are good questions to ask, you know.
Your argument of if you pay taxes on it, it has to exist, right?
Well I'm saying it's considered property.
Well, hold on. You also, when you go through a drive-through, if you buy a soda, it's technically a food, so they can't charge you tax on that, but they charge you for the carbonation. That's literal vaporware because it blubs away, and you're paying taxes for it.
That is true.
Well, the problem is like we were talking before, you know, like since everything is gone digital, that's one thing that Doug has over us since he keeps all of his CDs and stuff.
Oh, I buy CDs and I have vinyl.
Yeah. Well, you can resell that and stuff, but if it's in ones and zeros, pretty much there was an Autodesk case too that made a lot of this prevalent because I think they went to a guy took Autodesk and took a case to Autodesk and lost because, you know, you bought something and then you tried reselling it. Unfortunately, like they pretty much determined that, you know, if it's like ones and zeros and stuff, you really don't own anything. You're just like borrowing it for the rest of your life. And these other links are pretty much saying that you, like with iTunes and everything, you can't like transfer these to like your heirs and stuff. Like you could give people your collection of MP3s and stuff, but if you have like accounts like iTunes and Amazon and stuff, you could give them your password and everything, but eventually you're probably going to get your account terminated after a while and pretty much finding out that they're not you know?
That's kind of a gray area because.
Well, I mean, maybe not. It just depends on what kind of verification you'll eventually have to do, you know?
If you have a password and a login, they don't really care whose address is in it or anything because they're not mailing you your MP3s.
You don't think it's going to go to where like, hey, you have to use your thumbprint?
No. Hey, is this account still transferring funds to us? Sweet. Here's your songs. And plus, if you download.
Oh, you mean like
if you download the
Steam
MP3,
and mobile authenticator?
I'm sorry.
Like Steam's mobile authenticator?
What about it?
Oh yeah, you do have to do that with Steam.
Well, I mean, if you do it on anything other than the one computer, yes. But then, then you just take your phone. If when you lose your phone, it's a bitch because when I switched to a new phone, I had to shut mine off and then start it up on another phone. And that was a pain in the ass. But it kept someone from stealing it because it's hard for the legit person to deal with. The thief isn't gonna fuck with it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, what a lot of these companies, surprisingly, they actually recommend that if you're not doing like a streaming type of thing, you're like if you have iTunes or whatever, you should download that locally to your hard drive and stuff. Because
Yes,
then
if
you
you
can pretty
download
much do whatever you want with that then.
well, if you download it to your hard drive, there's been software to remove the DRM because it won't play on non-Apple devices if it has DRM on it.
Well, it's interesting because the new hotness that a lot of the companies, like everybody was complaining about the DRM, so they went away with that, away from
Yeah.
that, and they're like, yeah, hey, we're cool now because we're going DRM free, even though we shouldn't have even done it in the first place.
Right. Well, Apple's been big on that walled garden for years.
Yeah, me and Ben have discussed all that with like their apps and shit.
Their apps
But
and really anything. You can't. It's a totally different ecosystem. You're either in it
yeah,
or you're not.
but yeah, I just wanted this to be a general discussion about all that shit because like I said, companies are trying to move away to subscription type of thing, and like pretty much everything is digital. And
So
pretty
like,
much download everything and hoard it while you can. That's
yeah,
pretty much the moral of the story here.
yeah,
People
they're like,
are.
you don't own anything, man. You're just giving us our money every single month. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
Well, the thing
Yeah, why would
is.
you want to keep your stuff
Well, the
that you
thing
paid for?
is, initially streaming came about because hard drive space was expensive, and
Yeah,
downloading it and keeping it and maintaining those hard drives was expensive. And
that's why phone
now,
hard drives are still small. You don't even because nobody really keeps shit on their phones anymore.
right? Because it's now prices are going down. They're just trying to cash in on where the market's going. People have been streaming because they don't want to download it. They don't want to move the files. If you download a bunch of movies or music, you're going to have to rename them, resort it, because even the media players like Kodi and Plex don't recognize it unless it's filed correctly, and the lazy person is not going to do that. They're
Yeah,
just going to have a bunch of files on a drive and go, fuck, where did I put that movie? And they're not going to know. And they're trying to catch up with that. The main reason a lot of people picked piracy over actually buying Apple movies is because if you download a movie from Apple, a legitimate one, it will take an hour versus if you download it from, let's say, the Bay or whatever. The argument is it doesn't take that much time at all. So then they said, well, shit, how do we get faster than that? Stream that bitch. So they have to
yeah,
go back and log in every time they want to watch it. They got to go back into our site. So they're paying us per month for this, for
yeah.
the privilege.
Well, like I said,
I want
unfortunately
money.
there's
I want your
I,
money.
I want money. I want your money. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't seem though, like with all these streaming stuff, is at least on the software end of the side, and there's not much competition between these things. I don't think as much as there are for like computer stuff, like the Newegg and Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really see a need that they don't really have to compete. Because there's like a lot of these companies like Apple and Amazon. As far as for the music and stuff, they're not. I don't think they're that worried about it.
I think they actually are, because once technology improves, now with 4K video gaming, for instance, if you want to stream a game at 4K, if you're outputting it is one thing. If you're streaming it from someone else's server, which we've gone over that on the news article, some sites you don't even download the game, you stream it straight from the website. at 4K resolution for however many hours, that's very expensive. There's gonna be, that's why like MP3s are still, a lot of people still have MP3s, even though what the copyright ran out, is because they're so plentiful and they're such small files. You know,
Yeah.
people, one.
Oh, wait, you said the copyright ran out?
Oh yeah, you weren't here for that, were
I
you?
was not here for that.
So
Yeah.
MP3 is going to be going away.
Well, not it's not going to be supported. But what support do you really need for a music file? What's going to go wrong? But the A what is it, ACC or whatever is pretty much taking over, and Spotify with its almost lossless quality is going up. The thing is, the music market, like iTunes, has to worry about streaming because the biggest they have is like lossless files and stuff like that. The it's not a whole lot to pump that out, to people. Maybe to keep it to where you don't get a disruption in the service. Whereas I imagine like movies and visual media, like I said, video games and stuff, will be a little harder to maintain because of infrastructure is not set up to handle it. It's like having pipes that are only 2 inches wide, but every shit that people send out is 4 inches wide. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you.
Yeah,
and they're going to have to invest, and that's why that's one of the reasons our tinfoil hat articles go on. The FCC and everyone allowing throttling and net neutrality is because we're trying to control it because it sucks, and we're putting a band-aid on a gaping wound.
yeah, that's what it's all about, is the control.
Yeah,
It,
they know
it
that
just
they're going
feels
to lose money, but
it just feels like it cheapens the things because like I mean you're with a girlfriend now who has kids, and you're with a girlfriend, or you're married. I'm sorry, Frank.
yeah,
Me, I'm all alone. But
I'm all alone. There's nobody here beside me.
I mean, I'm sure we would all like to after we have like our whole
Coitus.
empire of media. I mean, wouldn't you like to be able to give that to somebody or something? I mean,
No,
or do you just want to be greedy and just have it like buried
I
with you like Scrooge?
I came home one weekend after getting a big haul of magazines. I collect vintage hot rod magazines, as I said before, and I was telling a coworker about it. I said, "Man, I got this whole pile of these magazines. I got them for a deal." And he thought for a second. He says, "Well, who are you going to leave that to when you die?" I don't give a fuck. I'll be dead. I don't have any children.
Well, yeah, you're not gonna have children, but I mean,
I know I want my stuff to go to eBay.
On eBay. No, yeah, you're not going to have anything. You're just going to have a mattress and and a pot to piss in. No, I'm probably going to end up like Gran Torino. I'm going to find me a nice Filipino neighbor and say, "Do you like old cars, son? Here you go." And
yeah,
that's how it's going to have to work for me. I'm going to die by some gang members that I can't even pronounce their names.
right.
So, but
It just like I said, it just seems like the things are, like once it goes over to digital, because you really can't do much with it. You can't give it to anybody. You can't transfer it or anything. It just seems more like disposable, I guess, or something.
Well, like we were just saying about data hoarders, there's people that download entire websites and whatever and store them onto retarded servers.
Yeah.
It's like I was looking at just how to build a local server for my own media, and you find guys that are like, I need a sanity check. Am I crazy? And they've got these rigs that are like, what are you doing, man? How does your wife not left you and shit like that? Seriously. And it's like, what are you going to put on there? I can understand, if you got a movie collection, but wow.
What are we talking? Are we talking like 26 terabytes?
More than that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, okay, on Reddit, the data hoarder subreddit, it's a tag where like you know how say you're on build a PC, your username will have a little thing next to it with what do they call that? Annotation with your like your GPU and your CPU, you know, so they'll know what you have just glancing at your username. Data hoarder, they'll put what the fuck their storage space is, so how many terabytes. And there's guys who have more than 100 plus terabyte. It's retarded.
Yeah. And just like that we were talking about before, that Linus guy, he was building a petabyte server, which is 1,000 terabytes.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's for work, so that's, you know, understandable. I don't know how many of these guys it's a home lab or, you know, just for shits and giggles.
I think it would be awesome to be able to download the internet if you could in snapshot form, but like,
yeah.
Well, like this guy here says that the Western Digital MyBook Duo's 16 terabyte, which is two 8 terabyte Reds on the inside, they're on sale for $225. Get them, take the guts out, and put that inside of a server cabinet. I mean, that's starting off 16.
Are they doing SSD or are they doing regulars?
Oh, I'm sure they're just doing regulars.
Well, they're doing mechanical and, you know.
You could get an SSD for caching and stuff, I guess. I don't know how Linus is setting that up, but.
Well, if you remember, Nate, if you remember, the actual definition of RAID is, you know, inexpensive disks. So SSD would not, you know, be there.
What are your thoughts on those? I mean, this is getting way off topic, but what are your thoughts on those hybrid things? Are those supposed to be pretty good?
A hybrid drive,
yeah,
where it's got a SSD circuit board to make the mechanical drive a little bit snappier.
Yeah,
I like the idea. The implementation. Go ahead.
I've heard they're kind of wonky.
Is it kind of like those hybrid cars?
Oh
like
no, they're not that good. I kind of be like they're kind of like GoBots.
They're the camera of the Transformers.
Yeah, they're like GoBots. They're like
check this out, Ian.
Like the Transformers. I don't want to say that. Yeah, that's too mean.
Computex sneak preview. QSnap unveils world's first Ryzen-based NAS.
That's interesting.
With up to 8-core, 16-thread AMD Ryzen 7 processor and 64 gigabyte of memory.
That's cool.
You know, this is going to be a driveless chassis here, probably.
Now, here's what I've thought. They're coming out with those new 4K discs, right?
4K what?
You know how they have Blu-rays right now?
Okay.
Oh, he's talking about those ones that were supposed to. I forget what company was doing that. Like if it was Sony or whatever, but they were trying to come out with those Ultra HD discs that were supposed to be like 100 gigs or whatever just on a disc.
I literally think, and maybe I'm crazy, but like, you're like, you want to save something forever? 10 of those discs equals a terabyte, and it's good for like 100 years.
I thought optical media usually breaks down after a long time.
Oh, CDs?
Yeah.
If you use them a lot, but let's say your hard drive goes bad, you're like, cool, I'm going to use this 20 times, and that,
excuse me.
You know, let's say every time your hard drive goes bad, so it's like, oh man, so if my hard drive goes bad every 10 years, then I use my CD 10 times. Because even SSDs go bad, right?
Right. Well, SSDs, they could pretty much last forever as long as like they have so many read and writes, right, Frank?
Yeah, because it's a NAND memory. I don't know how it degrades over time. I'm still under the thinking of get mechanical drives while they're inexpensive and replace them regularly. Because it's still new. You know, NAND memory they were using for RAM for a long time, and now it's actually becoming, you know, marketable.
I don't know, like,
is there a way to use the SSD drive as your RAM?
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, the fastest thing you could get right now for the SSD are those M.2 drives, but I think even those aren't fast enough. Like I think it's like 10 times slower than the actual like the RAM is pretty fast
Now you
as
can make
far
a
as
RAM
reading, right?
disk if you have like
Yeah.
say 60 something, gig of RAM. Like I have 32, and you can set that up as a RAM disk. So basically, it acts as a
The
temporary,
paging file.
huh?
The paging file pretty much they call it or whatever.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
it, it, it acts like it's a drive for a
Yeah,
little bit,
but
It's obviously a lot slower once it starts having to reach into the hard drive.
but I recently got to see the inside of a hard drive, and it's literally like a multi-disc. It's like a disc, and then
Like a record.
it's like a record almost, and then there's multiple layers of that disc. So like there might be there might be 3 of those discs stacked on top of each other, and that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah, his girlfriend is trying to fix my hard drive that I was telling you about a while ago that had like 7 years of work on it pretty much.
yeah, he's pretty screwed, unfortunately.
Well, you said I need to get it's just because of some screws. All we got to do is get one of those screw bits that can screw them out, right?
Maybe he stripped most of the screws, and he broke the disc reader parts, and it's tough because you have to get
Well, the disc reader part, that's the part that was broken in the first place. Right?
Okay, so that he didn't break that. Okay.
No.
And then like the plates aren't broken. At least the top plate isn't. But he broke. Well, if we can get the plates out and then transfer them into a like hard drive, and you don't run the hard drive, so you know that metal plate that goes on top of the hard drive. So basically, you never ever want to run a hard drive if you're going to fix it without that disc plate off, because it has like a certain revolutions per minute, and it'll scratch the heck out of the discs if you do it wrong.
Yeah.
But man, it's tough finding one that of like an old hard drive.
Yeah,
that
mine
matches
was like
this.
from 2005 or something, you know? It was like a 200 gig external hard drive. That's back in the day when you could take the hard drive out of the external cage. And then it's pretty much just an internal drive then, you know?
Yep. If those 4K discs are affordable, I might burn what I have onto CDs.
Well, you'd have to get a burner for those then.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, I was gonna talk about the wrapping up here. I was the one article talked about like what would happen with your like your social media accounts and stuff. Like it varies a little bit from like Facebook to Twitter or whatever or Pinterest, but for the most part, like they'll stay on and active and for a bunch of years, but it varies on how much like when they'll eventually shut them down for inactivity. But if you have like documentation, like if your family wants to put up a memorial page or if they want to have a shutdown, they in order to have access to your account and stuff, you got to provide them with like like the deceased.
Although
one's,
technically speaking,
documentation.
if you spent your whole life, they have this thing, and it's like you can send out death emails. So when you're dead or whatnot, so you could do that for websites too. So technically, you could keep Facebook posting like 100 years in advance about like, hey, happy birthday, sis, but I'm dead. See?
Oh yeah,
Hope that doesn't hurt.
that's
She's
just
dead
creepy,
too.
man.
See, no, we talked about that. I actually had a coworker whose brother passed away, and his daughter actually, his niece actually hopped in and got on Facebook and alerted all the family that they don't actually see. Oh, hey, he's dead. Sorry. Here's when the funeral is, and yeah, but he was able to handle it, or she was able to handle it. So
yeah.
okay, so do we have
this? That's the software side of things. There, on the hardware, and there is a silver lining here. This is actually pretty good news if you I can click on here.
Which store are you up to here? Because that what happens
The hardware.
to your online media after you die, and that's HTTPS and then colon, and that's all you had.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the hardware side of things here.
Okay. Open up the first one here.
The Reddit one.
Hold on. New window.
Well, you could click on whatever you want, but
You hush. I'm opening the damn thing up. According to the Scouse,
yeah.
put your wiener away. Swipe or no swiping. We own our hardware now, according to the Scouse. The Supreme Court recently made a ruling with regards to hardware ownership. It looks like we actually own the things we paid money for now. With all the bannings that have been going on, I'm surprised that this hasn't been mentioned yet. If it has, please let me know and I'll remove this. Regardless, this is a big win for people who want to modify their hardware. Update: the Electronic Frontier Foundation (EFF) recently put out an article talking about what this means. Specifically, the wording of the ruling is the most promising. When a patent owner chooses to sell an item, that product is no longer within the limits of the monopoly and instead becomes the private individual property of the purchaser and the rights and benefits that come along with ownership. The biggest impact is, I feel, twofold. The biggest one is that this opens the door for potential ability to transfer digital media. One of the more glaring disadvantages to going all digital is the fact that we only own licenses to the products and not the actual product. This ruling could help some slick lawyers advocate for allowing us to sell our digital purchases to others. The second impact is reverse engineering. I remember this. If you take a look at some previous cases, namely those against Kinetic's Virtual Game Station and Bleem, we see that courts have ruled in favor of being able to reverse engineer copyrighted material. In the CVGS case in particular, the ruling is as follows. Under the facts of this case and our precedent, Kinetic's intermediate copying and use of Sony's copyrighted BIOS was a fair use of the purpose of gaining to the unprotected elements of Sony software. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but it sounds like as long as you don't copy any of their code, you can reverse engineer the code on the 3DS and use/distribute it how you want. Along with the recent hardware ruling, the only thing that prevents us from completely owning our handhelds are online services. However, that's stopping someone from writing a program to emulate online functions. It's already been done with software like Xlink Kai. Who knows? Maybe someone who's a lot smarter than me can write some software that allows us to completely eliminate the need to use Nintendo's online services in favor of private third-party online services. There's a big, long discussion.
Can they, or have they already done it?
What, the get rid of Nintendo's services?
Oh, yeah.
That he's hoping is what he's saying here.
Oh,
Yeah.
but they have.
But it just pretty much means this is a lot of the gamers are pretty happy about that because they're like, oh yeah, now you can mod your system and stuff.
This is not really new. Like, remember when GeoHot was involved with the iPhone, and a lot of people were like, oh, you can't jailbreak it, that's illegal, and they're like, bullshit.
Well, the No article, which or video that I got it from, that was new. I guess it was something kind of recent because the original thing was about if you click on the next story, it was about the ruling was from printer ink because they were the companies want the ink cartridges to be proprietary, and then
Get your money.
Yeah. And so they pretty much ruled against that because this one company was buying up all of these their proprietary ink cartridges and converting them so that you could fill them up for cheaper or whatever, and then selling them to people. And then they took them to court, and then
I remember those, the injection ink cartridge.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, the printer half the time was cheaper than the cartridge. So when the damn thing would run out of ink, you just buy a new printer.
Yes.
I've done
Yeah.
that. I hate to say that I've done that multiple times because you buy a $70 printer and the ink is $80.
Yeah.
What?
That's why I buy Chinese ink.
Yeah. It says that's according to a U.S. Supreme Court opinion handed down on Tuesday. Nation's highest court reversed an earlier lower court decision that had allowed printer companies to legally bar individuals and small businesses who would refill printer cartridges with third-party ink. The ruling is a blow to Lexmark and other manufacturers that had effectively tried to outlaw end-user modification of printer cartridges. But the broader implication of the new decision is that you should be able to mod, alter, and resell products you purchased to your heart's content. So pretty much this is good for those. Remember we were talking about the tractor, Frank?
Yep.
Yeah, so that'll be good for that. You'll be able to. It'll be cool then because they were starting. A lot of the game companies were wanting to. We were talking about before. Go make you force. You have to only get it fixed through them, like Apple does with all their stuff.
Right.
So
like
that's good too.
After so long, you're gonna have to be able to fix it your fucking self. I mean.
Yeah. Or you could take it to somebody that knows how to fix it. You know what? You shouldn't have to go through fucking Apple's. You shouldn't have to take it to the Microsoft store just to be able to get your
Now we gotta
Xbox.
go. If you lose a key, it costs $100-something to get that custom one made.
Yeah.
I remember
Have you ever seen
Nintendo's service, right? So it was when we bought a Nintendo from Garage Sale, and the guy said it worked, and then it didn't work. So he's like, "Oh yeah, dirty pin connector happens all the time," and he's like, "Cool, how much is it gonna be?" He's like, "Oh, that'll be $85." So in other words, I could buy a new system for $10 more. That was way back in the '90s, so I would hope it's gotten cheaper.
What,
Yeah.
a 30-pin connection?
A dirty pin connector. You ever get an NES
Yeah.
that has that blinking light issue? Where you turn the power on and then it turns back off?
Hold on. 72 pin. Here we go. Replacement connector for NES cartridge slot. You get it for Walmart.com for $10.
Exactly.
Pew.
So, but as a kid, we had to give away that Nintendo because guess what? And all the games because, well, we couldn't afford it. And I wasn't.
Afford it. You can't afford it.
We couldn't afford a lot of things.
Oh, I had a Nintendo, and then we only had a Sega Genesis because my parents saw one in the classified ads, and we went out and got it from the guy.
Yeah.
Those are the days. You get it. What? How old were you guys before you found out that Nintendo came in color? I seriously was the stereotypical kid with a black and white screen with a switch for the channels, and that the dial broke off, and then we had a set of pliers next to the TV.
Oh no, that's crazy.
And I swear to God, we had a TV that went out and stopped working, so we had another TV that did work sitting on top of said broken TV. That seriously happened in my house.
My mom, growing up, they had a TV with working video but no sound, and then they had a TV with working sound but no video, and they had both on at the same time, and they had to sync it up. So okay, channel 43, awesome. I hope it's in sync.
Oh, in sync.
Well, I just
Yes, insert advertisement right here.
Okay.
What just sucks because my TV doesn't even I needed to have I need to get some new batteries for my remote for my TV. And because they're the small AAAs and I have all AA's.
Oh.
But I was gonna buy them the next day, but I wanted to watch some TV that night because I had just gotten back from my parents' house and shit, I can't even push if I can at least push the power button to be able to get into my Kodi, that's fine. Then I could just work everything through Kodi. I don't have
Well,
to change the channel or whatever. But my
you have a
TV doesn't even
Samsung,
have a
right?
fucking power button. No, I have a Vizio now. I used to have an
No.
LG.
Your phone, Samsung.
Oh yeah,
It has an IR
it's
blaster,
it.
right?
It's not a smart TV.
No.
And
I'm not
no,
saying
the
smart. It's got an
He's saying infrared.
my LG phone has an IR blaster, but the Samsung they phased out the IR blasters in the newer Note phones for some stupid reason. In their infinite wisdom, they're like, "Oh, people don't need these IR blasters, even though it's very useful. It's an older technology. Everybody's just using their smart TVs. So you could make a remote that way then." That's why they also got rid of the thing where you can only do mirror casting. You can't buy any of those USB cables that go to the HDMI to your TV.
Oh, my Pixel doesn't have mirror casting. I went to use it the other day for my Roku and found out that it's not a default thing like my Samsung had.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, why, they're like, "Oh yeah, you don't need to do that. You got a smart TV, don't you?"
no.
Why would you
No,
buy
I
a
got a
smart
dumb
TV?
TV. I
Yeah.
thought it was a stupid move by Roku trying to get into the TV game. Why
Wait,
buy
they
a
got into the
TV?
TV game? Why?
Well, because they wanted to. You could buy a Roku TV. It's a TV with a Roku built in. I'm like, or I could buy any fucking TV and plug your stupid Roku box into it.
Yeah.
That is a
It
dumb
only
move.
be $100 versus a couple thousand.
Wait. They tried to charge a couple thousand.
Well, let me see. I don't know what they go for. Let me see.
By the way, did you ever get your remote situation fixed because he lost his remote or whatever to his Fire Stick and
Nah, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Well, I was thinking my LG phone has an IR blaster, and
That's the thing. The IR blaster, it is free, so it goes over Wi-Fi on it. So it's like, cool. What was the last Wi-Fi password you entered in, and where was the last place you had it? It has to be on the same Wi-Fi password and connected to the same Wi-Fi in order to do it. So in other words, you're screwed if you don't remember where you last had it.
No, Nate, I'm saying like the original remote that worked on infrared, right?
No, it worked. It worked on like Bluetooth.
Oh, it was a Bluetooth remote?
Yeah.
Ew.
As far as I know, like,
well, you can't pair your phone or something over the Bluetooth and get some kind of app?
It does it through the Wi-Fi, and it has to be, so you're like, oh yeah, cool, just pair it over the internet. It's like, okay, cool. But how it connects to the Kindle Fire Stick is what the internet is set up on the Kindle Fire Stick. So you have to remember where you last had it. And if you had it at your grandmother's house in Illinois, you're screwed. You have to go to Illinois and set it up there.
Well, they sell other like
they sell
Bluetooth
replacement
remotes, right?
Probably. I don't know if it would work.
So
honestly,
here's
One thing is getting one of those. I don't know would be worth it. It'd be the same price as a Fire Stick, probably.
So Nate, here's a 65-inch Hitachi 4K Roku Smart LED TV from Sam's Club. It's only $708
Oh, what?
with $56 in tax.
Why would I ever? Wow.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that's a stupid idea. Why would I do that when I can buy any TV and put their 4K HDR streaming Roku is $80? Yeah, I'll fucking buy that instead.
Yeah, so you're more of a proponent of just separating out the functionality of the TV away from the TV, right?
This is for a 60-inch TV, $700. Or
Yeah.
I could get, this 48-inch is $300.
They even make you could give us saw a Newegg for the Memorial Day for like over a 50-inch for like $300.
Here's a 55-inch for $849. They only when they launched them, they said they were only going to come in certain sizes, and I thought that was the stupidest thing in the world because, well, you just buy any TV and spend $100 on a box and you plug it in.
Oh, I know why they did that, because did you know it's actually cheaper for them? They buy in like to cut the sheets of the thing, the crystal crap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, that might be on plasma or LCD, and they've phased away from that.
Yeah, a lot of people still swear about those plasmas, man.
Plasma has deeper blacks, but it also has burn in.
Yep.
Like,
Oh
Johnny
yeah.
Burning cock.
Yeah.
Uh,
eBay. Lol.
yeah. Anyways, Frank, do you got some articles? Do you even have time for that?
Do I have time for that? What the fuck?
No,
is
I mean,
going
I
on?
said, did you even have time for that before the show because you didn't have you weren't able to look at my articles. What about the battle stations?
Yes, I got some, sir. Sir.
Okay. Okay, I was just I wasn't sure what. I
didn't do
thought
nothing,
you
did you,
didn't have any
I guess?
time for anything. I was not saying you were being lazy. I was just wondering if you even have time for it because it sounded like you were busy.
All right, I got some stations.
Well, did you want to do your articles or the stations first? It's up to you, buddy.
Let's do some stations.
Do you want to break it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Moral of the news is download everything from the internet right away. Hoard it.
Yeah.
Become a hoarder.
Well,
Free tin hat. It's
you
fine.
don't get a moral from the fucking news. You might get good night and good luck. That's all you fucking get.
Yeah. Well, it's just the thing is hardware is getting it's brighter for hardware than it is for software. That's what it seems like.
It's getting hot in her.
And her it.
Whoops!
in-
Shit! I dropped a thumbtack. Hold on.
Oh, you better find out. You don't want to be stepping on that.
Why do you think I said hold the fuck on? Shit.
Anyways, did you want to look at the monitor here? Because I can look at tablet.
Yeah.
There you go. You can see that.
Yeah, I can.
And then we hear Frank. Ah. Anyways, what do you think about this first battle station, Nate?
What are the specs on the computer?
I'm
always a spec guy.
Well, I am too, but I have no idea. It's just we usually just go by the aesthetics.
Oh, the aesthetics.
Yeah. Because they don't usually list much more, you know. They just give a picture.
So the computer's in like the lower desk part, the tower part.
Yeah, and then they had the.
That's kind of nice because it frees up desk space. However, you're not supposed to put towers on the ground, and that's going to collect dust.
Well,
but if it's above ground, then it's okay-ish. But then cooling issues. But it looks kind of cool.
Okay,
maybe.
Like it's hard to zoom in. If you zoom in on my phone here, you can kind of see it
right there.
Okay, so
yeah, it looks like it has a bottom.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That definitely has a bottom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put my computer. But did I ever show you that board that I was working on? That's the computer.
Yes.
Is gonna.
Yes, you did.
Sit on top of that, and then I'll have that on the floor. So it's not just because you're right. It is.
You know what?
It's not good to have your computer on the floor.
And I'm gonna say, I had my computer on the floor, and oh my gosh, I dusted it, and oh my gosh, there were so many bunnies up in there, and they're like, "Hey, what you doing in my house?"
Dude, I found the sting bug in my computer when I cleaned it out, man. It was dust. It was pretty dusty, but not the worst. But I was just surprised I found a bug in there.
You know what to do. Okay, we're ready to do this thing.
Well, the problem is we got our apartment actually has like a stink bug problem, but I think that's a lot of places by here in Ohio, right, Nate?
Maybe it's just your apartment. I haven't had a lot of I've had not that many in the apartment.
No, I don't think it's been that bad lately. It's just
guys.
But focus.
Anyways, I mean,
brought to you by Pepsi.
I like it. It's like really basic.
Insert advertisement here.
What do you think, Frank?
What the hell are you talking about?
You're
my headphones off.
You're the battle station that you have up now.
Oh.
Because we started talking about it because you were gone.
Well, I had to get that thumbtack before my foot found it.
Yeah.
I like it because the wood, all the wood in this gives it a real natural It's wood and black basically, and then the white kind of bleeds into the gray tones, so it draws your eye. You know what I mean?
Although I feel like, man, like the speakers. I guess I'm not a big sound guy, you know.
Oh, you don't like the giant speakers and the giant subwoofer and shit?
What
I
giant
don't know.
subwoofer?
No, well, I'm just saying in general for him.
It's just, I don't know.
I'm a speaker guy at heart because I don't like wearing headphones all the time. People will say, "Oh yeah, I feel naked if I don't wear headphones." I'd rather just have speakers. Unless I'm talking to someone, then it just is annoying. But just because it's easier than wearing fucking headphones, so that's
Well, like
the
Nate
main
has everything pumped to his TV through the HDMI. Uh, I just you wouldn't ever get like a surround sound or anything, Nate?
I have really super good hearing, like, so I don't need it.
That's cool.
Like, what's the typical volume you have your television on?
I don't know, maybe
Give me
like
a number. The number.
well, it depends on the source because when I watch stuff on Kodi, some of the sources are like different volumes. So I
Well,
have to
okay,
up the
regular TV.
volume.
Regular TV.
Well, I don't know, maybe like 9 or 10 or something.
I'm on a 5.
Oh, really?
Now, the thing with sound is your ears adjust. So
Yeah.
I've turned it up, but like that's because they adjusted. Like I can hear it perfectly fine on a 5.
Well, I mean, I probably could too, but sometimes you want to have it louder than it's like it feels like it's more better quality than
You're not straining.
Mm,
The thing is, you're not straining to hear it. I'm slowly becoming a snob here.
Nate, you're not like a bass guy then, huh? Where it's like, oh, you don't care about feeling the floor.
if I wanted that, I would have that the thing for the Sega, the body. They used to have this. They used to have this
Sega.
rumble pack that you attached to your Sega Genesis, so that when you got shocked, you had mild seizures. And I'm not joking because my friend gave me this, and I'm like, yeah, no, seriously, it was a rumble pack for your body, but it probably gave you mild seizures because it was humongous.
Well, this
And
guy,
they tried coming out with a later one, and it did not get kickstarted as far as I remember.
well, this guy, it's pretty basic, but it does what it does very well. It's very tasteful.
And he's got room for a mouse, for his mouse and other things that he needs to put on his desk, like a drawing tablet, and it's open space. So yeah,
Yeah,
Hey, could
he's
you
not
zoom in on that?
confined. He's not stuck in a corner. And granted, he doesn't have the biggest desk either, because I would like to go with a simple desk like that, but I want the big ass retarded 9-foot fucker. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm cramped. My desk is about the size of his mouse pad. So only
And
thing
he can-
I would possibly change is maybe get monitors with either slimmer bezels or bigger screens. That's the only thing I would change.
if
But-
I could change something, I would maybe move the screen, turn it into a wall-mounted TV, and then I could be like, I could put my feet up on the desk, like I'm some big shot CEO guy, and be like, I'm the boss, and then I'd be like playing my computer game.
Boss. But see, he's got a
Like a
remote
boss.
control here that looks like it's for
Like a bow.
it looks like it's for RGB LEDs because it's got different colors on it, but he doesn't have the fuckers on. So I don't know what he's doing here. I didn't read all the comments, but I did like the color setup, the wood, going with the desk on the speakers. It matches to where you go, oh, that's nice and classy looking. It dresses it up nice.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, but I'm not a wood guy, man.
I got wood. Check it out. Boing. Well, sorry, you got a glass desk that can shatter.
I got glass and metal. That's
Anyway.
it's more modern than.
let's see the next setup.
So this guy, he calls his a bronze league station. Now, just this first picture alone here, it might not look like much because it's potato quality photo here.
Can you give us a link for all these, Stu, by the way, on the chat? I know you're gonna mail it to me, but
Copy. Here's the one we're looking at now. The first picture alone, like I said, it looks like shit. It's all grainy and whatever. But he didn't spend money on a camera. But that's the only thing he didn't fucking spend money on, because this monitor, although it's small, you look down at those feet on the base. That lets you know that this is an Acer Predator right off the bat.
Right.
And then he's got Mackie monitors, which they're the smallers. I'm guessing there may be 5, maybe 3, but probably 5. They're not very expensive, but they're nice quality monitors. He's got a shit stack amp and DAC here, which each of those units together, each one is about $150, and then
Buckaroonies?
yes, $150 times 2,
Buckaroonies?
and then he's got this Sennheiser headset here. I can't quite tell because of the picture. They're either the 700s or the 800s. The 700s you can get for about $700. The 800s start about $1,100 for headphones.
Right.
And then he's got a GeForce GTX graphics card. I don't quite know what kind. I like how it matches the color of his Mackie speakers, though, the lights.
I like the color of those speakers. How much did you say those were?
I don't.
Those are nice.
They're price wise, they're more lower priced. They're not cheap by any quality.
So they won't cost you a flavor then.
What, do you want them
occasionally.
for like $20?
What?
Do you want me to show you where to get them for like $20?
Or sure.
I'll show you later.
Do you have to walk downtown for it?
No, it's not. It's not the off the truck discount or anything like that. No. It's completely legit from foreign country.
Okay. There
Nice.
you go. Are you looking here, Ian? The 3-inch speakers, the reference monitors, a pair with Bluetooth 2-in-1 wireless audio receiver, plus you get the foam pads to put under them, and the connection cables. You're looking at $100 prime shipped.
Oh wow. Yeah, I need to get some new speakers though. Can you send those to me into the Hangouts other chat? Like you usually message me links throughout the week.
There's the chat right there. I just threw it in. Those are just, like I said, they're Mackie, MACKIE.
Okay.
Insert your advertisement here.
Right. They're studio brand, there's different. That's just a bundle that someone's selling. You could buy the speakers themselves for $100. Well, why would I do that if I can get all the other shit? And
Yeah.
there's other brands you can get.
What is that on? Oh, that's on Amazon.
Yeah, that's the Amazon link. So
I know where to totally get it cheaper.
I like Amazon because like to buy anything on eBay, like you got to have like your PayPal and shit set up.
Well, I use PayPal.
Like mine.
Oh yeah, I use
like,
PayPal.
I have PayPal, but like I don't know, like it seems like pretty complicated to work with and stuff.
No.
It's not complicated.
No, you
PayPal.
can set it
Insert
up
your
to
advertisement here.
You can set it up to your credit card, so it defaults to your credit card instead of your bank account, which is what I do.
Yep.
So it's just like using your credit card, and you get points, and it's it's accepted in most places. It's pretty good. But so I don't know what this monitor goes for, but I know the amp and DAC. He's looking at about $300 right there, on top of the $100 for the speakers. Let's be cheap and say $700 for the headphones. That's pretty decent. Just not even counting the keyboard, which looks like it's all black. Noctua cooler, which is what I have, which is awesome. So pretty decent little. I would have no qualms chilling at that setup right there, even with the cables just draped across everything there.
Oh shit.
What?
Oh, snap! Google. Insert your advertisement here.
No, Snapchat.
So
my next one that I'm going to throw in here, I like because it's different. I mean, granted, yes, it's the same. It's a fucking wood desk that I like, but the setup is different. It's a little, BenQ monitor with a little keyboard and I don't even know what kind of mouse that is. I'd have to look.
Hold on, I think my
Possible technical difficulties. Insert your
my thing
advertisement here.
crashed.
Your thing crashed.
Well, it said all. Chrome does that. All snap. There's something went wrong with the page or whatever, and then it's on the Hangouts here. I hope we don't have to rejoin this. Oh, okay, it says it's broadcasting.
It says you're here 3 times.
So.
Oh, there you go. Now you're in twice.
So, by clicking the join chat, Ian has cloned himself. Revolutionary technology. He's only going to live a fourth of the time he's alive now. You know.
Okay, I think it went back
stuff.
to 1.
Science. Insert your advertisement here.
I'm not giving away my blood. Come on now. They're not that bad. Oh yeah, I'll link this too. Again, because since I had to rejoin it didn't show. It's not showing up now.
Link what?
Put in the chat for this one too.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, BenQ monitor. He's got his little Nintendo figurine guy there.
That is not just a little Nintendo figurine. That is a Bowser Club Nintendo thing they gave out like 2 years ago. So he mailed in like 50 Nintendo game codes for the, well, more like 35, but that's actually, although China has ripped it off now, it's not just some little figurine.
He's got some little Nintendo figurine here. And this lamp, the lamp actually, I think that's a thing now that's been put on a lot of YouTube videos. It's wood lamp with a electric cord going through it, so it gives a different look to it.
It gives it the interrogation look. Like,
yeah,
where were you last Thursday?
The one
with my Reese's
balls.
Cups. Insert your advertisement here.
Well, and then he's got the night version. He's got, I guess he vapes. He's charging his vape. But
see, I hate people. Some people just do that because they just want to look trendy or something,
Well, there are conversational smokers,
Yeah.
They don't like smoking.
The one with I guess, I don't know if it's both of them. Or one of them's got a -1 point. Vape.
Well, so what do you think about the bad cop setup?
The bad cop setup. If I would be intimidated because of the interrogation lamp. +1 for the Club Nintendo Bowser figure.
Yeah.
I think it's $30 on eBay, unless you're buying a Chinese knockoff, and then it's like $12.
Does all of these have the giant desk pad, where it's like a mouse pad?
That's a trend. I've got one.
Oh, you do? Huh? How much are those?
It depends on which one you get. He's got a Corsair one. If you could see right here, little ship in this area right here. He's got a little ship, little sailboat. See right there, Corsair. So he probably paid more. I paid, I think, like $11 for mine on Amazon. But I need to clean it because it's white, and I didn't realize that my sweater that I threw on had something on the sleeve, so there's stuff on it. So I'll just clean it. But it's basic. It's wood again. It's got little speakers that are okay.
Yeah, you gotta love the '50s color lamp. It's like the
seafoam green. I like. And then
I'm imagining like the Pixar thing going on with the lot. Oh, have we switched to the next one?
No, I just went to get the copy of the link.
I see.
And then I have one more battle station. Is that okay, fellas?
Oh, for sure.
So we got 4 then.
Yes. This guy I actually followed. I went to average battle.
That is a nice chair.
Well, I went to average battle.
You like those racing chairs, huh?
Zoom in on that chair. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Insert your advertisement here.
There you go.
Oh, you like saying that, don't you?
Yes.
I see that.
Anyway, this guy, I saw him on average battle stations. He's like, here's my setup. And they're like, oh, that's not average. That could be full-blown battle station stuff. So he stepped up his game and he said, "Here's my battle station," and he rolled that dice. I think that's cool. I don't see anything wrong with this setup. I mean, it's
No.
it's minimal. It's black. I think he's charging a power bank, but you got the desk is just a big chunk of wood with pipes under it, so it's economical but cool looking.
Yeah.
It's got he's got a. If you look here, he's got the Blue Yeti microphone.
I thought that was a fan.
No, it's a Blue Yeti microphone with his Audio Technica headphones sitting on top of it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And he's got a Corsair mouse, Logitech keyboard. It looks like.
What are all these people doing? Like, is everybody doing like a podcast or game streams now or something? Like every setup I've seen, I think is like they got some kind of crazy microphone.
Well, that's actually a lot of times, like most of the
Team
time,
chat.
if you have a microphone, a picture of a microphone, one of the comments you invariably will get will be someone, "What do you need that fancy microphone for? Are you in
Team
audio
chat.
production?" And the thing is, yeah, I do a podcast, but I personally don't want to buy a fucking headset, which he didn't do either. He's got Audio Technicas, so he examined his options and said, I can get a nice set of headphones or fucking microphone. And, that's the way I think everyone should do. If you just want a headset with a microphone and be done with it, that's cool. Go on about your business. I've only got one set of headphones and I'm looking to buy more.
See,
Yeah.
I could look at those Audio Technica headphones and I could be like, yeah, those. If that is an older model, it could be like $50, and then it'd be like, cool, I'm gonna pay $80 for that thing. So how much is a pair of Beats cost?
What
Like
about
300 or something.
Yeah, so I just saved money, and I have high quality
By
on both
switching
ends.
to Geico, you save money. I like money.
I'm just saying,
Sure,
it
Not
seems
a way.
like it's overkill just for if they're talking over on the games or whatever.
Not necessarily,
Well-
because let's say you want to run a fan or something, it's got a noise cancellation.
I guess
Well,
so.
Ian, like I said, with my microphone, the arm, the pop filter, the muff, the mount for the microphone, and the power supply, I only spent $60.
Oh. Well, those
So,
Blue Yetis are like 150 though.
yeah, just for the microphone, which I never
Yeah.
understood. You're paying for the luxury of a USB. Mine plugs into a microphone jack. I don't give a fuck. I didn't want to buy an audio interface. I still don't plan on buying an audio interface because I only plug in a microphone and at most one guitar. If I have sound coming out, I'll buy a DAC because the sound card on my computer is actually very good, but I don't want to, buy a totally different device just to run XLR. I don't have a studio.
Yeah.
All I need is RCAs. So
I just hate seeing technology go to waste, because you see Barnacules with all these 3D printers, which is great because it's good to be able to say you can afford all those, but he doesn't know how to 3D model and stuff. He's not, he's more of going to be like a hobbyist, I guess, and print stuff out on the internet. But then you have Linus and stuff where they have movie quality. They got what are those $50,000 red cameras and stuff that they're just using for YouTube videos. I mean, that's really overkill.
Well, go big or go home, man. I mean, if it's your actual job, sure. But this guy's spending. I mean, I like the comment I saw a guy say, "What do you do that requires you to have a microphone of this sort?" I'm like, it's a fucking $80 scissor mic, This guy, granted, yes, he probably spent 150, whatever, because he probably saw a thing that said Blue Yeti is the best, or everyone gets one for podcasting. Because you type in what microphone for podcasting, and you'll get Blue Yeti, so they got it. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a good microphone. Ben uses it until it broke.
Well, for some people, it's just status, even though they're not.
That's
Like-
probably what the racing chair is for. That thing is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Zoom into that racing chair.
I
a
already
second.
did. You weren't paying attention.
I know. Zoom in again. Does it have lumbar support?
Yes.
Like,
That cushion.
Yeah,
keyboard is
are you gonna update your chair? Here?
when I can afford it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would
You
do.
sitting on a beanbag?
He's got like an old it's like a '80s chair or
Oh,
something.
80s. Pfft, not that young.
It looks like it's made out of catnip or something.
Oh, it's from the 50s, man. It's
Oh, really?
it's solid steel.
The chair I'm at, I have. If I'm sitting on it, it goes and it'll sink to the floor, and I have to pull it back up, and then I'll be gaming, and then falls back down to the floor. But
But yeah, I am jealous though. You're right. I am jealous of Barney Cleves with all this 3D printer because he doesn't. I'm actually know how to do all that stuff, and I can't. I've finally got my first 3D printer, you know,
mhm.
and like I'm appreciative of like everything that I have.
Well, he is too. He's not an overnight success or anything. He's
Yeah,
worked for a long time to do what he does, and I mean,
Yeah.
if he can only pump out a video every couple of months and still make enough money to support doing it, well, shit.
that's got to be all rollover money, like from all of his old videos that had like millions of views, you know.
I don't know how he's doing it.
I do. Maybe. But
What?
So, yeah. Spoiler alert, a lot of YouTubers buy views. I'm not saying Barnacle does.
I'm not saying how does he get views. I'm saying he doesn't post enough content. How is he still making money off these videos that have been out for years?
Oh, sponsorship.
But you're supposed to disclose your sponsorship at the beginning of the video, and he doesn't.
Yeah, well, that's like that T. Martin guy that got in trouble or whatever because he didn't disclose all that CS:GO videos and stuff. His sponsorship with those, and then I don't
Sponsorship. Insert your sponsorship here. Anyone.
know. You're supposed to, like, according to FTC guidelines, you're supposed to disclose your sponsorship, you know, and what you're getting. Well, like not what you're getting paid, but like if you're getting like a review product or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're a reviewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a major gripe lately with reviewers is they give things like thumbs down if they're like not perfect. Like a game that I bought on Kickstarter, Yoka and Laylee, so it had a camera issue, right? So everybody's like, worst game ever. And now they're like, they fixed the camera issue, but like it had that issue in beta on reviewers' copies, and because of it, sales are suffering, even though they fixed the issue. And it was in beta, so like it wasn't released to the public yet. So like, of course, there's going to be glitches.
Yeah.
Well,
and I get you want a perfect game, but then like, what do you expect from early access games?
Well, a lot of people are so used to the you get it, you pre-order it, and then by the time you get it, you have to DLC the entire game because half of it isn't sold to you, and the shit's broken, and then they move on to their next piece of shit, and they figure that if they use that to their advantage in the video, they say, look at this piece of shit, people will believe that, and yes, you'll get views, but they're hurting the end, the end result.
But here's the thing: in this company, this is their first game. This is like Mighty Number 9, their literal first game for their company. And oh man, I'm not saying Mighty Number 9 was a success. However, I will say this: he had planned on making future games, and he might learn from said failure of a game.
Said failure of a game.
Yeah.
Well,
it's hard for a game company to be like, I made Mega Man games my whole life, and now I can't do Mega Man, and I don't want to get sued by my thing, so I got to come up with something else. But Mega Man is what you created, so like you're like, oh, I'm gonna draw this character. Oh crap, it looks like Mega Man because that's my style of art.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I think I was gonna have that for next week's discussion, but like I was gonna link. I was gonna have an IP discussion maybe next week because and I was going to link to the Wikipedia page about just describing in general about intellectual property, and then like the criticisms on that, because a lot of people are saying they should call it instead of property, because property signifies scarcity and something physical. They should call it intellectual monopoly because a lot of people are like with electronics and like technology and pharmaceutical patents, they're sitting on all this stuff and it messes things up. Like if they like, I don't know how it would be like a world where all intellectual property was open source. Like if everybody was allowed to do whatever they wanted with the Mega Man stuff, like they could do a lot better than the actual people that actually made Mega Man, and it would make things better for everybody then, wouldn't it?
There is a guy, and I'm not going to name him because I don't want it to get shut down, but he is making a Mega Man game, and he's not selling it, so don't shut it down. But it is literally the best game I have ever seen in my entire life. And I've been waiting for it for 6 years, and it's a solo project, and good luck to you. Keep working on it. You're probably not going to listen to this podcast, but good luck. I mean, okay, you guys ever play Mega Man? Any of you guys?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know how the boss doors are like so small, and you're like, you want to take in that mech armor into the boss and be like, punch him in the face? But the boss doors are too tiny, right? He enlarged the boss doors. He came up with new bosses. He has like 3 characters that like, and multiple storylines, and like they level up, and oh man, so cool. I'd pay $60 for it. If I could pay $60 for it, but I can't because then I get sued.
Yeah.
And like, I wish you could just be like, this is from That Guy Gaming Company, and it's like, I want to make Banjo-Kazooie, so I call it That Guy, and everybody knows what it is. It's like, this is Bear, and this is Bird.
Well,
We're going to go on our adventure.
sir, what you're wanting, sir, is the Atari age of video games. Anyone can make a game, put it on a cartridge, and sell it.
Yeah, I do. I want that. Because, oh my gosh, companies have alienated the third party, and you end up buying like a system, and you're like, oh, that's cool. Like, I bought a PS4, and I'm like, okay, cool, where are the exclusives? And they're like, we got like a couple games. And I'm like, whoa, man, like, what happened last system? Or like the system, do you know how many games the PS2 had? A lot. A lot.
Well, it's just like that. Remember we did that article, Frank, about that? Those people that did the, what was it, like a whole cartoon with the X-Men or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say that,
and people sued him.
yeah, like I say that's a shame because, you know, like a lot of people could do a lot of better things. Like that would be nice to see something like that, you know. And it's just, if more things were open source, like intellectual property and stuff, it would make things better for everybody.
Like, license it out, and maybe have an approval, or like be like, cool, percentage.
Well,
it's like,
okay.
This is not officially endorsed by us, but like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, look at all these people that sit on like their cooking, you know, like their cooking secrets and stuff. Like, if all the whole cooking community worked together, like everything, all restaurants would be better tasting then, right? Instead of everybody hiding secrets, and it's like,
no, you'd have somebody trying to cut corners everywhere. You'd have shitty places still. I mean,
I feel like, let's say KFC's recipe got out. I feel like a place would be like, this is KFC's recipe, and it's like, and it tastes like just like KFC. And it's like, no, it doesn't taste like KFC, even though it's the exact same thing, and people would still go to KFC.
yeah.
Because they're like, it's not the same, man. It's not the KFC feel. I want to look at the kernel icon. You know, it's like Coca-Cola. Have you guys ever drank in that knockoff Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
you mean like RC Cola or whatever?
Yeah. Does it taste any different, really?
Yes.
Anyway.
I'm just saying, I guess I'm more of a proponent of open source.
Yeah.
An open source.
I don't think it tastes that different. And here's the thing. Not that different. Maybe exactly the same, and you're lying to yourself, Frank. Excuse me. But anyway, we still buy Coke, right?
Okay, what are you trying to say
Yeah,
though?
and it
I'm
costs
saying-
more because it's delicious.
So, like, if let's say there was a Mario game and it was like if another person made it and then they're like, cool, I make a Mario game, and it's like, cool, we won't pay as much money, but we'll pay a little bit for it. And then Nintendo's like, cool, we're going to take a portion of that. Like, it could be open source. Everything could be open source as far as video games.
Creativity, it kind of stifles things.
Yeah, because like making IPs, it's really hard. You know why? Because like I'm pretty sure they've used every single animal. Like they've got Spyro, he's a dragon. He's like, okay, cool. It's like, well, kangaroo, they've got a kangaroo. It's like, they got a bandicoot. Oh, Crash Bandicoot. Like they literally in the 90s, they probably went through every single animal and they'll be like, okay, let's make this into a new IP. And now all the animals are gone, and you're like, well, shoot, I want to do a video game with a dragon in it. It's like, oh, you mean Spyro? And he's like, no, it's different. I swear, it's different. He's like, does he breathe fire? And he's like, that's what dragons. It's different. I swear. No, and people don't see it. Like they think you're stealing. It's like, no, you can't steal a dragon or an animal.
Isn't Mickey Mouse in the public domain now?
That I don't know.
No.
I'm not sure. I thought I heard something about that, or I don't know.
Let me see.
But anyways, we'll get we should probably say this for a big discussion,
Right?
Because I wanted Ben to be there for that too. And I was thinking about the reason I said maybe Saturday this weekend was because I thought that Ben we'd be able to see Ben, but he's not getting back until
the 5th.
the 5th, so
right.
Maybe next week.
Okay. So do you want to?
We still got to finish up this battle station and then get the Frank's
Sorry,
needs,
sidetracked. Although
Yeah,
awesome chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Are you gonna get a chair like that, Frank?
no, God no. If I wanted this, I had chairs like this in my car and I took them out. I
Yeah.
don't fucking
Are you
want
gonna
it.
get a mesh chair though, or something?
Probably
those,
so it breathes. 'Cause
Oh,
my
the
back
mesh
is-
chairs. Nice. It breathes. It flexes well. It's got lower lumbar support.
If I could afford it, I'd love a Herman Miller, but if not, I'll take. I was actually looking at show you it's like the third or fourth one. Here we go. I was thinking about getting this guy.
Wait, zoom in. Oh,
Hmm.
that might be nice. Maybe. Maybe not.
For me, I like padding and shit. I like
Look at the
nice
back
plush
side.
chair.
Oh,
That's what-
okay. Oh, the back. Okay. No, that could actually be. Does it have an adjustable back?
See, I don't know.
You want an adjustable back because otherwise it's going to put the spinal. Ooh, no adjustable
What's that?
back that I'm seeing. If it's got an adjustable back, then A-okay in my book.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it can tilt.
No adjustable back.
Hey, it's good for the posture.
But
Plus, it's
that
mesh.
the spot has to be in the right spot, otherwise it'll scrape your spine.
Well, this has 4.5 stars. So
I'm just saying because I had a mesh back one and it wasn't tall enough, so the support part got in the wrong spot and it screwed up my back.
hold on. The foam density double handle mechanism. You can lock the back in any position. It says
Okay, then awesome. That's
So-
probably why it has 4 stars.
4.5. Yo, dog, we heard you like sitting, so we got you a chair so you can sit while you sit. So yeah, I was thinking about getting one of these because Prime is $150. You know.
Yeah. Oh, if you have Prime.
Yeah, I have Prime.
Another subscription service.
No, I thought you were saying it was like a deal or something. If you had Prime, and that's what it'll cost.
No, it has Prime shipping, so I get it in 2.5 days or 2 days.
Did you buy a
seen
Nintendo?
some of those deals where it's just like a Prime exclusive only or something?
Yeah.
You can't even buy it.
Yeah, yeah. I hate those.
No.
Anyways, what do you? I mean, I like it. I would probably say that. That'd probably be my third though.
Okay, so we got this one, this one, this one.
Okay.
Go back up here. Oh, and that one.
Okay. Was the second one the one with the green speakers?
The green speakers.
The one that you looked up for me?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, so that's my first.
Okay.
Um,
And your second, sir?
uh, go to the bad cop one again.
Now these are audio source or audio engine. Sorry, I think those are audio engine speakers. So even though they're small, they're decent.
See, it's a draw for me between that one and then the last one for second.
This one,
Yeah,
okay.
I think I like that one second.
See, take away the chair from the image, and then be like, and then judge it.
Oh, you
Take
mean?
away the chair.
Oh
Take away
yeah,
the
that one.
chair.
You like
You
that?
just have this table, some pipe, some headphones, and a microphone.
How does it look now?
It it looks okay. I mean,
Now,
I
how
think
does
it's
it?
better than the bad cop one. I think.
True. I feel like I'm being interrogated.
Well, what's your favorite, Nate?
I would.
Would you go with the one I went with the?
The first one's
speakers?
classy. The second one is expensive. Third one's interrogating, and the fourth one is comfortable.
Yeah.
See,
So you're saying you're going with the first one?
Like if it was for style, then like that one looks classy. But then I'd probably go the expensive one.
Yeah. So me and you are on the same page. Okay. What about you, Frank?
Although chair in the background,
Yeah.
yeah. See, you could hear some good. You could hear some good audio. You could look at a good monitor, and then you can lay down on a lazy boy. It doesn't get much better than that, man.
Is that what you're going with too, Frank?
Sad to say though, I prefer this more. Just
The
because,
first one?
yeah, I mean, I don't like the chair as much. I have to say, but granted,
I feel like chairs are cheating.
well, you can't see what kind of chair he's actually sitting in when he's at this one.
We're judging the whole picture, the whole setup.
Oh, the whole setup. So
Yeah.
the chair isn't like steroids. Okay.
So I would say I like this one first, probably this one second, and these two, I like I said, I would tie. I would take either one.
Yeah, that was tough with those two.
I mean, granted, this one's got a cooler keyboard and actual like name brand speakers and shit, but you know,
The lamp, it's too interrogating. Like,
and it's
where's
got this
Area
fucking-
51?
It's got this Nintendo figurine and
Oh yeah, props for that.
Yeah.
You send in way too many Wii codes.
Wii codes.
Yeah, Wii games. That's the
No.
ones they took. It'd be 20 games. So that guy owns a Wii, and he bought 20 games for it.
So I was looking at it, and like the interrogating guy has 35 upvotes. The guy with the cool chair, he has 71. Sorry, I don't have these in order. I just was kind of going through and going, oh, I like that. I like that. I saw it. Where's the damn the desk that I like? Granted, it's 2 days old. It's not that much older. He has 7,453. So, what one am I missing? This guy, Bronze League. What does he have? Because it's a little older. It's a couple days old. Because he might not have. Because this is sorted by hot, and if he doesn't have a lot of votes, he might not be in the hot. That's hot.
Technically, since me and Nate are voted on that one, the second one, that one technically won. But then, who's the winner for the internet score? Then, like, who had the most votes? Then,
oh, this guy.
that guy. Okay.
So, Mr. Oh, whoops! I don't even have his.
What's his name, and then what's the one that we voted for?
Let me go back up to his picture. The one with the most internet votes at 7,453. Username Dana SDFASDF. So
Dana, there is only Dana, only Zool.
Yes.
yeah. So yeah.
What's the other guy's name? Is that one? That one's not Joel, is it?
What? Which one? This one or this one?
The one that me and Nate voted for.
This one? I don't.
The second one, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I couldn't actually find any.
Was that just an imager?
No, look here. It's in Reddit. I don't think he is. He has 4 points, 4 upvotes.
And there's no username?
2M Burr.
To Ember.
2, the letter M, and then BUR.
Timber.
I guess.
He's either
Catchy.
T Ember, as in he's gonna burn things, or Timber and TIMBER was taken.
Yeah.
Comments. Let me see what the comments say. Thank God you have a blower style card. Blah blah blah. Yep, that's all they got. He has like 2 comments. Yeah, he's got 5 upvotes, and I was one of them. So sorry, guys. You gotta like that one. Go and show it some love.
Did you post yours because you were saying people didn't like your microphone or whatever?
So
Or like saying what do you need a microphone for?
no, it's whenever I see somebody with the microphone on an arm, everyone's like, "What do you need a microphone like that for?" And I'm like, "Because he doesn't want a shitty plastic headset."
You were, yeah.
I'm like, I have one, and if I didn't do the podcast, I'd still have it because I don't want to use I don't want to use fucking earbuds and the little shitty, inline mic you get there. So, but so that's that. So we know who won was this guy.
Well, they won for the internet, but technically, the 3 of us, me and they voted for the second one.
Yep. Anyway.
Yeah, but he still won. Nobody voted for this. 5 people gave up votes to this. They don't care about our fucking votes.
Well, that's what I say.
Okay.
We're of our opinion, the show's opinion.
Right. Would you like to hear my articles now?
Yeah. I'm not trying to say like I'm anxious to get through yours, but our show is getting kind of long, so yeah, get to it.
Let's rip off the Band-Aid.
Hey. Anyway, so AT&T throttling filter service allowed under Title II. AT&T sees the Title II ruling as very narrow, contrary to most expectations of what the so-called net neutrality rules permit internet service providers to do or not to do in terms of prioritizing or blocking content. An AT&T executive said that court interpretations of Title II regulations appear to allow ISPs to slow down or block certain content or traffic types as long as they are upfront with customers about it. Hank Hultquist, AT&T's VP of Federal Regulatory, proffered that view in a post on the company's policy blog. The company has strongly opposed net neutrality rules. In the past, supporters of Title II often alleged that without reclassification, ISPs would be free to block unpopular opinions or viewpoints that they disagree with. In the understanding of the DC Circuit panel majority, it seems that the Title II order does not touch such practices as long as the ISP clearly discloses its blocking plans to customers.
In that user agreement that's nobody reads.
Right. Hultquist cites Judges Sri Srivasan and David S. Tattle opinion that the net neutrality rule applies only to those broadband providers with who hold themselves out as neutral, indiscriminate conduits to any content of a subscriber's own choosing, and then notes that the judges added, the rule does not apply to an ISP holding itself out as providing something other than a neutral, indiscriminate pathway. So, yeah.
So basically, in a nutshell,
like the title says, yeah, throttling, yeah, it's allowed. Yeah, it's it's okay. According to AT&T, which is shady people, man. Why would you go with a shady company? I mean, it's not that much longer here. I could read the whole thing, but I'd rather not because got quite a few here.
Well, that's AT&T for you. I don't know what else to say about that.
AT&T. And then just to stay on the same topic here, I'll scroll over here to this Ars Technica story. To kill net neutrality rules, FCC broadband isn't telecommunications.
Huh?
Federal Communications Commission's plan to gut net neutrality rules and deregulate the internet service market may hinge on the definition of the word broadband. In February 2015, the FCC's then Democratic leadership, led by Chairman Tom Wheeler, classified broadband as telecommunications, superseding the previous treatment of broadband as a less heavily regulated information service. This was crucial in the rulemaking process because telecommunications providers are regulated as common carriers under the Title II of the Communications Act, the authority used by the FCC to impose bans on blocking, throttling, and paid prioritization. Thus, when the FCC's new Republican majority voted on May 18th to start the process of eliminating the current net neutrality rules, the Commission's notice of proposed rulemaking also proposed redefining broadband as an information service once again. So basically, fuck it, it wasn't broke. Why'd they try to fix it? And it's stupid. So, yeah. It's not murder. It's just killing the guy that we didn't like. It's not murder. Basically.
Mida.
Mida. Nate Dog?
I mean, Nate, obviously you're for net neutrality, right?
Of course. It's BS that like you'd be like, okay, cool, I want to watch Netflix, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna throttle that speed, so buffering, like anyone who hates buffering likes net neutrality.
Well,
or are you gonna pay more for what you already have?
Well, basically,
the speed you already have.
Basically, we're allowed to be mad at telemarketers for calling and bullshitting us, but they're taking our information and selling it and fucking throttling our speeds. That we're supposed to be okay with because it's not the same. It's fucking bullshit.
But it is a telecommunication because email.
Yeah, everything is well, I mean, you don't gotta explain it to me. It's just that these people are further in the dark. They're not trying to legislate what is actually happening. It's growing so fast that the legislation can't keep up with it, and they're just trying to get further and further behind to let these monopolies monopolize and get bigger and stuff their pockets. It's sad.
Yeah, they just want money.
Plain and simple. Money.
I want money.
Money.
That's money.
This is from BBC. Google to let publishers charge users for ad blockers. Google will let publishers ask people who use ad blockers to either enable advertising or make a payment to view content without ads. Funding choices will roll out first in North America, UK, Germany, Australia, and New Zealand, Google said in a blog. Google is also working on an ad blocker of its own, which will function in its Chrome browser. That will block specific adverts that do not meet Google standards. Ad blocking programs are designed to protect customers from intrusive web ads that slow down browsers and vacuum up personal data. Ad blockers take a big toll on publishers and producers who rely on advertising revenue, said Sridhar Ramaswamy, Google's senior vice president in ads and commerce. We believe these changes will ensure all content creators, big and small, can continue to have a sustainable way to fund their work with online advertising, he wrote.
Sure.
Google is part of the Coalition for Better Ads, a group which also includes News Corp, Facebook, and Unilever, and is dedicated to improving users' experience of online advertising. Recent figures from the Internet Advertising Bureau suggest that 22% of UK adults use an ad blocking service online. In 2016, the service AdBlocker Plus claimed to have more than 100 million active users worldwide. So I know you guys have thoughts on AdBlock.
Well, like, what were they pretty much saying about it though? Like, so Google is going to do their own ad block, and then like, what were you saying after that? I'm sorry.
I didn't listen to a word you said.
No, I'm sorry. I was spaced out. I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
It's not your fault. It's
Google
mentally, I'm kind of out there right now. Sorry.
Okay.
Like, there's some nice things about ad blockers, like how many of you guys have gone to a site and they're like, "Why don't you download our app?" Has that ever happened?
Oh yeah, I hate that where they're like, oh yeah, Reddit, use our app because you deserve the best.
Yeah. So I recently learned you can use an ad blocker and be like, filter elements and be like mobile, so that just never happens.
Yeah, they get it, like they take over the whole website. They're like, why don't you use our app? Or uh, what else was I saying? I forget. But yeah, I hate that. And or they're saying, hey, thanks for using our site. Uh, just like all the different pop-ups for whatever it is, it's just annoying.
Or like, your Windows thing is outdated, and then you click on it, and then you downloaded a virus. Congratulations.
I remember what I was gonna say. Like, even if you're using like the ad block, they're like, oh yeah, in order to use our site, please take off your ad blocks. I'm like, okay, I don't really want to. I'll probably do it after I'm done, even though, because this is the only time I'm going to your site anyways. I'll whitelist you, and then that's cool. But then it says, oh, you're still using ad block, and it's like you have to pretty much totally disable your ad block, even though you whitelisted them for some reason.
Well, the
I don't know. Maybe it was just my browser.
Mean and potatoes of this story is that Google is saying, "Oh, you want to see the page without ads? Well, how about paying a fee, and that way the content creators still get money without us seeing the ads." So,
but here's the thing: like, Google's been hitting the YouTube creators, be like, "Oh yeah, we don't like your content, so we've been demonetizing you guys." So they're kind of being
that's been like that. Like we talked about that a bunch.
Yeah, but like it's kind of hypocritical ish because they're like, "Oh yeah, we wanna."
Maybe since you wanted to bring that up. Well, YouTube clarifies hate speech definition and which videos won't be monetized. More details for creators on what they can and cannot say if they want to make money. So yeah.
Can we give? Is there just like a list?
Yeah, like how is all this stuff controlled? Like, is there some kind of really smart bot that knows what you're talking about in what kind of context?
I don't.
Or is it like people that flag and be like, "Hey, demonetize this guy because he's talking about this," or is it all in the metadata? Or I don't even know.
I mean, you can dislike a video, can't you?
Yeah.
They might look at that. I don't know, but so there's that. By the way, scientists discover how the brain recognizes faces by reading monkeys' minds. Using brainwaves, researchers were able to make almost perfect replicas of human faces shown to monkeys, raising prospect of thoughts being accessible to exploration.
It'd be right side of the brain, right?
I don't fucking know. Scientists have created eerily perfect replicas of human faces that were shown to monkeys just from recording the animal's brainwaves in one of the most impressive feats of mind reading to date. The demonstration solves one of the most intractable problems in neuroscience, how the brain recognizes faces and raises the prospect of our innermost thoughts becoming increasingly accessible to scientific exploration. So yeah.
Better recognize.
I thought this was a little cool article. I felt like sharing it.
It just makes me think about that incident with that where the monkey like ate this woman's face off or something.
It makes me think of those experiments that they used to do where they used to sever the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, so then the left hand would act independently of the right side, and then the person couldn't recognize human faces anymore. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's the right side, and then the right side would act independent.
What about that one where they transplanted the monkey onto a person's body, a monkey's head?
I feel like that's internet
No, that actually
Okay.
happened, didn't it, Frank? It
Legit?
only lasted for a little bit, though, like it died, like really quick.
He's
I
like,
don't know.
he's like banana. Yeah.
Bill Gates wants to tax job-stealing robots to offset job losses. Gates thinks this would help people find new job opportunities when automation takes over. We are living in the era where robots are stealing a majority of human jobs, and automation will likely lead to many humans losing their jobs. But do you know what the world's richest man, self-described techno-optimist, and Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates thinks about robots? Tax the robots. In a recent interview with Quartz, Bill Gates stated that robots who take human jobs should pay tax, as taxing job-stealing robots would compensate job losses by funding training for job roles where humans are still needed. He thinks that it would slow down the process of automation to a more manageable rate.
Yeah.
I love how people like Bill Gates, their answer is always somebody else paying more money. How about you pay more taxes?
Well, yeah, Bill's actual thing is I'm a billionaire, but I'll pay more. I feel I should pay more because I have more. He's actually started that. He started that billionaires club where billionaires their goal is to give away half of their money to charity. So
For
yeah,
tax write-offs,
Bill
so they
Gates.
don't pay taxes.
Hey, Bill Gates is still doing a positive thing. If I was rich, I would not do nowhere near as good the shit that he is doing. So
Doesn't
God bless the man.
Does
Doesn't
he write?
Microsoft
Wait,
do the
does
same thing Apple does and
does
have
does he write it off
goes
in his
all
taxes?
offshore? Hold on,
Hey,
doesn't they go offshore and uh like Apple does, so they don't have to pay taxes and shit?
how dare you question what the man is doing? He's giving to a charity. How much of your dollars have you given, sir? Sir? Have you given half of your salary to anything, sir? No, just
No,
to half of
but
yourself.
I don't try to break the law though or circumvent the law.
You have no evidence, sir. I would like evidence, sir. Not just finger pointing, sir.
Do you have evidence to support him that he's not writing enough on his
I
taxes?
never said he wasn't. You're innocent until proven guilty in this country, Nate.
No,
Sorry.
that's not true. You're guilty until proven
No,
innocent,
sir.
despite
No.
what the law says.
The letter of the law says innocent until proven guilty. You have not proven him guilty, therefore you cannot run him up on charges. So,
Uh,
Walmart asks staff to deliver packages on their way home.
Illegal.
Walmart's newest tactic is its fight against online giant Amazon, asking its employees to deliver online orders on their way home from work. The idea, Walmart executives said on Thursday, was to cut costs on the so-called last mile of deliveries when packages are driven to customers' homes, often the most expensive part of the fulfillment process. It just makes sense. We already have trucks moving orders from fulfillment centers to stores for pickup, Mark Lord, chief executive of Walmart's e-commerce business and the founder of Jet.com, said in a blog post Thursday afternoon. Those same trucks could be used to bring ship to home orders to a store close to their final destination, or a participating associate could sign up to deliver them to the customer's house. So I really wanted to get Doug's take on this. We have to remember this.
I just what do you always say, Frank, when you want to get the podcast done with already?
What's that?
Oh, come on, man. I want to see my family.
Nah, you ain't got no family.
I
Nate's
want
right
to
there.
go home. I want to go see my family.
You saw your family. They left you home to watch the dogs. I got one more story, dog.
Okay, Doug.
The rate of TV cord cutting is actually worse than you think, which they say worse. They mean more people are cutting. So I don't know why they think it's worse. That's better.
That's they're purposely saying that probably.
It's funny what a little added competition can do. It's no surprise that with the rise of streaming alternatives from AT&T, DirecTV Now, Dish, Sling TV, Google and YouTube TV, and Sony PlayStation Vue, last quarter saw one of the biggest cord cutting spikes on record. Moffett Nathanson, analyst Craig Moffett, has noted that 2016's 1.7% decline in traditional cable TV viewers was the biggest cord cutting acceleration on record. SNL Kagan agrees, knowing that traditional pay TV providers lost around 1.9 million traditional cable subscribers.
Maybe.
That was notably worse than the 1.1 million net subscriber loss seen last year. The shift was finally forced a number of denial-prone industry executives to admit things are changing, even if few want to adapt their products and services, read lower prices, in order to weather the storm. But while the simple metric of subscriber totals tells quite a tale, the story gets worse for traditional cable if you look a little deeper at the numbers. For example, Moffat has been one of the only analysis to emphasize how people are moving or buying new homes aren't signing up for cable at their new location. Millennials moving out of their parents' houses aren't either. So while the pay TV sector lost around 762,000 customers during the first 3 months of the year, that the total is actually higher if you include movers and home buyers. By Moffat's estimates, if you include the people who should have signed up for pay TV when they moved into new homes, nearly 1 million homes either cut the cord or chose not to take one in the first place in Q1. The diagnosis, identifying the root cause of the acceleration in cord cutting, isn't hard. It's not demand. Demand has always been there. It is supply. Would-be cord cutters and cord nevers are finally being given options like Netflix, HBO, Now, and a lesser degree, those skinny bundles. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody's changing their mindset of how they're watching TV. They're going more towards, hey, I want to choose what I want to watch versus just sitting down and being a mindless zombie and watching a random stream of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, if you put on TV, what do? You get reality shows or arguing talking heads on the news, and you don't get the choice. I mean, I like
Sure, you could record your specific TV shows, but half the time it's like it doesn't work, or like your other family members records over it or whatever, and it doesn't it might not last for that recording won't last forever, obviously, and it just fills up. You know, those DVRs, you don't get shit as far as space goes. You know, so yeah. I'm sorry. Did you have something to say, Frank?
I was just saying this goes back to that first story you'd started about where streaming is taking over, rental and everything. It's taking over because why pay for cable when you could just watch what you want and pay what you want. So
I'm pretty sure people would have cable, but
well, cable's technically streaming. It's just a random stream of shit.
Well, it just the thing is, do any of you guys have cable?
I have cable internet.
Yeah. So, how do you guys remember how much you used to pay for cable?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was it $100?
Over.
$200?
I don't.
Not $200, but I mean.
I know people that pay $300 a month.
Yeah, I get it. I did it. Yeah.
Right.
I was up there, but I had cable, phone, and whatever package that they bundle.
Right.
Dude, those extra channel companies must really be suffering though, like the HBO and the Showtime, which really didn't have a whole lot to begin with. You know. I mean, there's a couple shows I like Curb Your Enthusiasm, and actually, I was meaning to tell you, I was watching they have a new season of the Silicon Valley. But I mean, I feel bad for those extra networks, that were like premium channel networks.
Well, like my wife and I, we have Sling, and every weekend, some channel is free for the weekend. Like we have Stars, and then the next week we have Showtime, and the next we have HBO,
and it goes back to Stars again.
Yeah, we can watch whatever, and we didn't have to get that extra package, and if we really wanted HBO to go, we could get it. But I'm not paying $15 a month and hope that there's movies on.
Yeah.
I pay, however much Netflix is, and there are movies on. So, but this is, they can't deny it. They're losing money, and eventually they're going to be hemorrhaging money, and they're going to have, before, like there were the antenna companies. There was like a Arrow, if you remember me talking about them briefly. They basically had an antenna, and they would pipe your what your antenna fee would be to your house digitally, so you wouldn't have to put an antenna up in your house, and you could watch it on all of your devices. You could watch it on your tablet, whatever, DVR. But then they decided to sue them and say, no, that's that's not how over the air is supposed to be, and it got shut down. Well, now this is, you can't really change people's disinterest in paying more money. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got antennas and I've got a Roku, and I watch the local news. I watch YouTube, and we've got Sling for my wife. Still likes the reality shows, and that's fine. I watch my anime, and I've got a subscription for that. I watch my.
You got that Crunchyroll.
I got Crunchyroll. I broke down and finally got a subscription because I'm like, there's just so much content.
Yeah, you don't like that, do you, Nate?
I watched all the anime on Crunchyroll.
So like you're not even buying a subscription.
No.
Well, are you watching the simulcast because stuff comes out this same day? This
I
season?
binge watch, so like it's like, oh cool, it's a simulcast. I get one episode. Now I gotta wait like 6 months. Nope,
Well,
I
that's
wait
what I
till
do. It comes out, and then I'm letting it pile up and pile up. Like I just recently got getting caught up on Kobayashi's Dragon Maid because it finally finished. And there's like 4 or 5 other shows this season that I'm into that I'm letting them catch up. Plus, I only really watch anime after my wife goes to sleep because she's not a fan, and I have
Not an anime fan, huh?
no. And like I watch it subbed, not dubbed. So
Oh yeah, subs rule.
yeah, so I have to wear headphones because my wife can't stand the actual dialogue.
Good voice actors, yeah.
Well, that and they're like the music is loud and the sound effects are loud, and the cool thing about the Roku is that the original one, there's you can plug your earbuds into the remote, and you have it pipes the TV's audio into your earbuds, so you don't disturb the person next to you. But
yeah, you're not even caught up though on all the Dragon Ball Z stuff.
Not yet. Not on Super.
But Frank, tell him about because I don't think he was here when you were talking about it. But they might do that here at our building. What was that one company called they're going to start having bringing internet to it's going to be like a giant radio tower or something you're saying for like apartment buildings where the internet, all you're going to have to worry about is just one Ethernet in each of like apartment building. You don't have to worry about a cable line or anything.
There was actually here we go. I had another story I wasn't going to include, but now that you mention it, I don't remember the name of that company, but I'll just give you this headline real quick, and then I'll link you the article if you want to watch it. ISPs denied entry into apartment buildings could get help from FCC. Yeah, so strange turn of events. Basically, the FCC is actually trying to help other ISPs get into apartment complexes. So that competition. That surprised me.
Well, explain to Nate though, like what was the
there won't be their thing was you won't have you won't plug into the wall. It'll all be Wi-Fi based. They'll basically pipe it in, and you just sign in through your devices.
Yeah, but didn't you say like there's like one like outlet or whatever you can plug your own router into?
I don't remember. That was one of my many articles.
It'd pretty much just be like a separate utility for your apartment building then, right? Do you pay the apartment for that then?
I don't know. They only had like several states they were in.
What would you think about something like that where your internet is like a utility bill then with your apartment?
I mean, some places they only have the one company.
Yeah.
Is it low
competition?
Speed? Is it low speed?
I don't think so.
Well, I think it was I'm sure it would be pretty high speed. Competition is good, isn't it?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, like all we can get here is Spectrum.
Like you guys don't remember back in the day, the gas companies had pricing wars to see who could have the cheapest gas to get more customers. That's
technically speaking. There's like over 700 cable and internet providers, but they don't really talk about them.
Right.
They're hard to find, right?
No, you can look them up on the internet. You just never heard of them.
Never heard of them. Hey, and this guy says we never heard of him.
Okay, name 700 internet provider. Okay, name me 5 internet providers. Go.
Me.
Go.
Verizon, AT&T.
He's talking about broadband, right? Are you talking
Verizon
about carrier or broadband?
Broadband.
Verizon
Go.
has Fios, so they have fiber.
So there's fiber, there's Comcast, it's now Spectrum. There's Charter, right? That's 4.
I'm at 3.
What?
Because Comcast was Time Warner, and Time Warner's now Spectrum, so that's
No, I thought Comcast and Time Warner are separate, aren't
no,
they?
no, they got about combo. Anyway,
What?
so we're at 3. Okay, continue.
AT&T.
That's
No,
4.
what are you saying, Nate? I'm sorry.
So 4. Okay.
And then the 5th, I don't know. I think Uverse does their own broadband.
That's AT&T.
Or you could do AT. There's all, like, if you want to go for it, there's DSL, I guess.
There's what my in-laws have is CenturyLink.
Oh yeah, that's another one. CenturyLink.
All right. 5. Now think about that. How hard was it to come up with that list?
We're under pressure.
What is your point?
At 1 in the morning, sir.
Now name 695 more. You don't know about them, is what I'm saying.
You're not going
A
to
lot
know
of people.
690. Dude, there's how many basketball teams are there in the U.S. right now? Go ahead and name them all. I'll wait.
I don't watch sports, but aren't there like 50 per state? And then there's the minor league. I could probably Google a list if my phone wasn't at 7%.
Oh,
Every
you
month.
didn't say we could phone a friend.
Oh, of course.
Isn't your phone charging?
You said
Oh, yeah.
you do them by name. Think of them off the top of your head. You can't think of them.
Who doesn't use Google when you're off the top of your head?
The people who try to use stuff off the top of their head.
Oh,
Like,
good for you guys.
Sir. When did you take the calculator in the math class and they said, "Sir, the test is off the top of your head," and you go, "No, I have my calculator." That's how you do it. I don't know the formulas.
I invented the calculator, man.
No, you didn't.
What?
Did you know there's a calculator monopoly right now?
Really?
Yeah. TI instruments.
Yeah, a basic calculator is still like $80 or $100, right? What?
Well,
What's the basic gist of that?
I didn't invent the calculator, so yeah, I know.
Did you see the thing from Lazy Game Reviews on it?
No.
Texas Instruments actually had a thing with Ohio State University because there was a group for education and teachers. I can't remember what it was. Basically, they got into the ground floor because they didn't even invent the graphing calculator, and it became they basically got advertising to where it became they were part of the curriculum, and they're so ingrained in the courses that they're still standard today. Like, hold on,
Yeah, it's a monopoly because the schools still need them.
That is where Microsoft Word is right now.
Oh, the schools need a Microsoft Word.
Yeah, because they train kids on Microsoft Word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'll
What? I want to go home to my family.
Shut up! You don't have a family. It's basically his little story of why are Texas Instruments so expensive. So whenever you get a chance, you can check that out. He's got entire videos on just pocket calculators.
Because you can play Legend of Zelda on them. That's why.
You can play Doom on there too.
Yeah.
You could, but he has videos on that too.
Yeah. I guess I did see that because I saw the Doom video.
You can spell out boobs if you turn it upside down.
You guys need to turn it upside down to do that.
Boobs. The 5 was not an S. My buddies used to page me with a boobless shoe. So, anyway, guys, I think we've had enough for tonight. I think it's time we all go home to our families.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of good shit in there this time, man.
You're going to have a bunch of links. I emailed them to you, dog.
Okay, cool. Thank you, sir.
I had to find my stop screen sharing button was like hid behind my dock. I'm like, I can't stop. I don't want you to see me email and stuff.
Did you think that was a good discussion though on all the hardware and software stuff?
Yeah. It's just that we get a little sidetracked, and next thing we know, it's morning.
Yes. So
It's just something to think about. Basically, what we were saying, Nate, is hoard, right?
Whores, yeah, whores.
anyway,
Hoard all the
party
stuff.
on, Ian.
Party on.
Party
Wayne.
on.
Whoa,
What?
we're not in Wayne's basement. We're in Wayne's basement. We're not in Wayne's basement. Whoa.
I'm in Wyoming.
But anyways, thank you, Nate, for coming on the show.
So cool.
I appreciate it. And thanks, Frank, for your articles and for just being on the show too and helping out.
Thank you so much.
I
On
guess
behalf of the brothers who couldn't be here for our little liquor.
We're gonna try to get Ben on the show more. We're thinking that we're gonna switch to Saturdays because since he does like date night or whatever.
When I messaged him,
Yeah.
I said, "Is Saturday good for you?" He said, "Yeah, I might even get her on the show a couple times." So who knows?
Yeah, maybe Doug will be able to come on then because I don't know what the fuck is.
Are we gonna get to
up
see
with
her
him.
face
We saw her. I get
Yeah,
Doug,
we saw.
for reals?
yeah. I want to ask Doug what he thinks about Walmart making people drop shit off on their way home.
Yeah, well, keep that on your bookmarks or shit if you can even find them.
I'm sure it'll be easy to find. Walmart wants you to drop shit off on your way home.
Yeah, Doug's like, I ain't doing that shit.
Right. He's like, good thing I quit those motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Okay.
those weebs.
Oh man, it's too bad my car got stolen with all that expensive merchandise. That's so terrible.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh yeah. Nate wasn't here for when he did that, right?
Nope.
We were doing the battle stations thing, and there was a guy who had a minimalist station, and Doug said he was a weeb.
Yeah, he's like, look at him trying to be a minimalist. That weeb. I'm like, whoa.
That has nothing to do with anything. I don't think that word means what you think it means. My name is Anil Montoya.
It's okay. I did it. I did my racist thing the last week, so.
What?
Yeah, you remember? I forget it.
Will be loyal scouts, right?
Good, you forgot about it. Maybe everyone else will too.
A Weebelo? Will be loyal scouts?
Okay, well, anyway.
Maybe that's what he thinks it means.
On behalf of myself, Ian, and everybody else, we'll see you on the other side.
Peace.
Boobs. Boobs.